Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sci-Fivision presents Fandom Access. I am AJ. Above me is Karen. Jamie will be with us momentarily.
Hi, AJ. Long
Hi,
time no
Karen.
see.
Yeah. What are we talking tonight? We're going to talk about Sandman. We're going to talk about Murderbot, Revival, Resident Alien, Ironheart, and as long as we have time, Superman. Holy
Superman,
shit,
yeah.
we've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we don't really have time to waste. So maybe we should jump into it. I'll be right back. I hear you. I hear you.
Jump into it. I'll be right back.
I just had to grab my phone.
No, it was just funny.
In case Jamie sends a message. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about tonight. Maybe we should start with what do you want to start with? Maybe one of our season finales or one of our newer shows. How do you want to go?
You know what? Let's start with Ironheart just because we've got a shit ton to talk about.
Okay. So I was away when the early episodes of Ironheart aired, and I watched the whole thing like straight through, right? I think I watched it in one day. I think when I came home was jet lagged and watched it for or maybe I watched it over 2 days. Anyway, I watched the entire thing. We are talking about the last two episodes, 5 and 6 tonight, right?
Well, we didn't talk about 3 and 4 last week either. So we can kind of talk about the whole thing as a whole.
Okay, let's talk about the whole thing. Now that it's over, what's your lasting impression of this show?
I liked it a lot. I really, I wasn't really sure what to expect with it, but I liked it a lot. It was very dark, which I liked.
You thought it was very dark?
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of levity to it too, but I thought overall it was pretty dark. I mean,
it was kind of dark. Yeah, so Riri, I forget what her real name is, but Riri is, she's got this terrible tragedy that happened in her past where her stepfather and her best friend were killed in a drive-by shooting, right? It's a little vague, like they leave out the details of how and why that happened. And I guess we are just left with like they're innocent bystanders, I guess, of a shooting in the neighborhood, right? And she's really traumatized by it, and that sort of underpins the whole thing, right? So hey to our guys, and we got Muncher Luncher, we got Jen the teacher. Hi, you guys. Thanks for joining our chat. But yeah, so is that what you mean when you talk about the darkness of it, or that this guy with
kind of a lot of it? Yeah, there's that, there's that, but just the whole crew. The guy has a cloak from he has a demon cloak. And his boy John there isn't exactly a nice person to begin with. Especially as we learn at the end of the show, when we learn more about Parker, we find out that his father's like, I don't want you. Like, you're my son, but I have no interest in being your father. So it's like, it's kind of sad. And, I don't recommend becoming a superhero criminal, to show him what's up. But, and even Riri too, like, the whole time I'm like, where is Riri's head in all this? Like, I get that, she wants to, make this iron suit, for like response time to, crimes. It all rests on her stepdad and Natalie, dying, because nobody, police and fire trucks and everything didn't show up on time, and she wants, this for like to help people, but she's taken a really shitty path to do it.
Yeah, she does say at certain times, they're like, why are you building the suit? Because I can. Like, she's got this sort of like, I won't say Tony Stark worship, but she's like, she says because I can. And then like later you find out, like very late in the show, you find out like her motivations for building the suit are really deeper than that. And look who's here. Hi, Jamie.
Yeah, hi. Sorry about that. My contact was all messed up. I had to clean it. I've been having such bad allergies. I couldn't see. I'm like, eyes blurry. So sorry about that. But hi, guys.
We were just discussing our general impressions of Ironheart, and now that it's over, how we felt about the show overall. So what's your takeaway of it?
I liked it. It wasn't the best of their series, but I thought it was decent, and I liked the Doctor Strange stuff, which you probably already guessed. I was happy that they put that in there. I kind of thought from the beginning that his cloak looked kind of Doctor Strange-ish, so I thought that was funny that I was right, because I really didn't expect it was going to be
How wait, stop. How were you right?
No, I mean I was right because I thought when I saw it, his cloak, that like it looked like the same material as Doctor Strange's cloak.
It's
And I
not.
It was funny that no, it's not. But I meant it was funny that it was connected to Doctor Strange. I did.
But
like,
it's not
It's not connected to Doctor Strange at all.
To the
It's
dark dimension.
it's from hell. It's a demon cloak. Doctor Strange's cloak. Doctor Strange's cloak is magic.
Yes, but there's magic in this, and they talk about.
Yeah, but it's a demon cloak that makes you have scales.
I know
and
that. I'm just saying that I didn't expect it to be connected to that part of the universe, the magical part of the universe. I just thought it was funny. That's all. I know it's not Doctor Strange. I don't mean that, but they obviously mentioned things that were related to the Doctor Strange part. That was
they mentioned things related to Doctor Strange because of
the magic and everything. Yeah.
The magic girl.
Well, that was all I meant, really. But I don't know. I liked it. I didn't want her in the end, though, to turn bad. I can't say I was surprised, but if this doesn't get, is this been renewed, or do we not know yet?
I mean, I don't really think, Jamie, that I would characterize that as turn bad. She accepted Mephisto's deal, right? She made a deal. She made a deal with the devil. She made a deal with the devil in the end, right? Like
that's not a good thing.
But it's not turning bad. She believed all people who make a deal with the devil believe that they can resist, that they can do good, that they can't, right? Like she didn't turn bad. She made a very bad deal that is not going to go well, right?
Rephrasing. I didn't like necessarily that she made the wrong decision and it ended not great, was what I meant. Like, I'm not surprised that she took the deal, but I didn't want her to take the deal. But do we know if there's a second season? I feel like they said there was a second season, didn't they? Or am I wrong?
I haven't heard anything.
Because obviously it ended like they intended to continue the story, but if they don't, then it just kind of ends there. So I don't know. I mean, but I liked it, but it reminds me a lot of Transformers. That's the main thing that it kind of irritated me a little bit. But that's Iron Man. I mean, that kind of is, it's got that look. So
I mean, but it's not a Transformer.
No,
it doesn't transform into anything.
Transformer, the way it, like when it goes around her and comes
when it opens up.
Yeah, it reminds me of the effects from the Transformer movies.
So I mean, I agree, Jamie. I was surprised that she took the deal. I really thought that Riri was going to turn down Mephisto at the end, and when she took the deal, I was disappointed in her. And I was surprised that it happened. I didn't think that's how it was going to end. But you guys know that my least favorite part of the Marvel universe is the magical part.
The magic.
Doctor Strange is among my least favorite characters, not because I don't like him. I mean, there are things I like about him, but I just don't like the magic. The magic to me is it's not what I want in a superhero movie. So when this took a turn to the magic, I began to like the show less or lose interest in it, and don't know if I would have continued watching it if we weren't going to cover it here. The magic is just not, and look, I love Harry Potter. I'm not like anti-magic. I'm anti-Marvel magic and the way Marvel does it and how they intersperse it with superhero stuff. And yet I don't mind that Thor's a god. Like that doesn't bother me because
you don't make sense, but that's okay.
You don't like the woo-woo
the woo-woo magical,
that kind of part.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it took a while though for the show to get going. Like it started off kind of slow, where a lot of it was just sort of a heist show and went on to a lot longer than we needed to get through that part of it. I feel like they could have probably cut out a whole episode of them breaking into places and it would have made just as much sense. Do you feel like that? Like, I feel like there's just too much of that we didn't need.
See, I like heist stuff, so.
No, I like heist stuff. I just don't know. I feel like it was extra. Like it wasn't, it didn't necessarily bring a lot to the story, I guess.
The thing for me at the end was that Riri, she just saw what happened with Parker. So for her to accept the deal, it was like, really? Like, you saw what happened to him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know,
Why did
and I don't know if you two know this, but Mephisto isn't just a demon. Mephisto is the Marvel's version of Satan.
Yeah.
Like, he's the top dog, you know?
Okay.
Like,
He has,
and it's so
he's
funny
actually not
when they
connected to the dark
what's that?
dimension.
Sorry, Jamie, what was that?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just before you get too far. So he isn't connected to the dark dimension, then. That was just what their theory was. Because I wasn't sure about that because I don't know a lot about the other Marvel stuff. But you're saying he isn't actually from the dark dimension, or he is?
He's from hell.
Okay, so he's not. That's what I'm saying. See, I didn't
He's
know for
Satan.
sure because I don't know enough about the rest.
Like he said, he's like, I have a lot of names. You can call me Mephisto. And
Yeah.
the best part about it was before he actually said his name, I'm sitting there and Artie and I are like, is it him? Do you think it's him? Are they really introducing Mephisto in Ironheart of all places? Because of all the other times we thought that he was going to pop up, and then he pops up in this, which is an interesting way to introduce Mephisto.
Yeah, because AJ, again, you're the comics expert of the three of us. I did Google and read about Mephisto, and he's more prominent in other comics, right? Like with other characters. This is not the place. I understand why you say it's not the place you expect him to be introduced.
Which is kind of what I liked about it, because you didn't expect it, you know. And I thought Sacha Baron Cohen was a great casting of it. I thought he did a great job with it.
Oh my god! You know, I'm no fan of his, and I hate almost all of his movies. And I thought he was really perfectly cast and fantastic in that role.
He was. Yeah.
There was something else I watched, and I was about 20. I was about like two or what the hell? Oh, it was on Apple. I forget what the hell the name of it was. It was an excellent show though. It was with Kevin Kline and now I forget who the lead actress was, but he played the husband of the lead actress. And I was like 3 episodes in, and all of a sudden I was like, "Oh my god, that's Sacha Baron Cohen," because he was like clean, clean shaven, like normal. I was like, but anyway.
Yeah. He stole the few scenes that he was in, right?
Yeah.
He was great. Yeah. I really but I really don't like that Riri took his deal. I don't like that she brought Natalie, is that her friend's name? Had her brought back to life. Like that can never go. Every version of the story where you bring your friend, your lover, your wife, your son back to life, it always goes bad, right? And like you're a genius, just rebuild the AI somehow, right? Like she didn't even try. She took the devil's deal immediately. She didn't even try really to retrieve her AI friend.
He was just as stupid though, because at the beginning, whenever he's like, "You'll give me what I want," he's like, "You'll get what you deserve." Like, if anybody says that, why would you trust them? They say you'll get what you deserve. You don't think you deserve what other people think you deserve. That's a given.
Yeah.
Well, and when you say, "What'll it cost me?" and he says, "You won't even miss it." Like both Parker and Riri failed to get the terms of the contract before they agreed to it, right?
Yeah. But that happens in all these kind of shows. But it's like,
nobody ever asked the devil to see the fine print, right?
And the devil is in the details.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would not sign something without details.
Yeah.
I was actually surprised though, and granted, it was just sort of that. Well, no, that part wasn't the bonus scene. That part was before the bonus scene. That he actually seemed to bring her back to life, I guess. I thought he was going to like fix the AI, even though that wasn't really what he sort of promised. So that's my big question then. Is she actually alive? If he is the devil, I could see that maybe he brought her back. But if he did bring her back, is she the same would be my other question, or will she end up being something else?
That's going to be the question that remains to be seen, depending if it gets to season 2, if they show up in something else, Yeah.
Also, I was kind of like, gee, you have a choice. Like, if you're going to bring a person back to life, and it's your beloved stepfather or your best friend, so poor Gary, you're number 2. You don't get brought back to life.
Bring them both back. Come on, if you're going to bring one back, might as well ask for both.
You're making a deal with the devil.
To play devil's advocate.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. The first time she did it accidentally. So I feel like the second time when she chose that was what she wanted the most, she had already gotten her back. So it was like losing her a second time. So I could see that like that would be maybe harder because she had just gotten her back almost. And so that I kind of understand. And the first time was an accident. But yeah, she should have said bring them both back. She should have said bring them back and make blah, 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 blah. I mean, I feel like if I was like, making a deal to get everything I wanted, I did. Do you remember in what's that? The episode? I don't remember how to say it, but in French, the X-File one, Je Sweat, where he's like listing all these things he wants.
Yeah, the one with the gin.
I want this, I want this, and I want this, and I want this. Yeah. You make the deal.
Mulder was very
it didn't work
good
out
at being articulate about it. Yeah,
he definitely tried.
But I mean, she's being selfish about it because if you bring back Gary, that's not only something you want, but it's something for your mother too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is something for Natalie's brother, who she kind of likes. But I just, I'm not disappointed they didn't show. It's a show. I'm not disappointed they didn't show me this on TV. I was disappointed in Riri that she really didn't even take the time to try to see if she could recreate the AI. Because I guess deep in her heart, her heart's desire is to have a friend, not to have an AI friend, right? Although, I mean, to be honest, I was not really ever down from the beginning of the show with the idea that, like, I forget how it happened. There's like a bolt of lightning or whatever, and like the AI reaches into her deepest thoughts and manifests as her best friend. Like, to me, that was always like a hokey, gimmicky part of the show. That it even took that personality and could, you knew
it couldn't last and couldn't go well at any rate from the very
beginning. It was just kind of AJ Ironheart is. I don't know how much of a comic series or how big a character she is, or if this is how it goes down, or if you've even read Ironheart. You can't read every single Marvel comic, right?
No. I'm familiar with Riri, but I don't know the extent of how many comics she has, or I know she's around still.
Yeah.
I know she's been part of Young Avengers. I know she's, and she's always kind of, it's funny actually, because she's always kind of been a loner. Like, she'll work with other people from time to time, but she's always going against the curve. So this was depicted pretty well, actually.
Yeah. It's nice to see a Marvel lead, a woman. I mean, we've had women leads, right? I mean, we had the Hawkeye series, we had like the young Hawkeye, whatever her name is. We have a bunch of women.
It made such an impression on you, Karen.
What?
I said it made such an impression on you. I'm just like,
her name is Kate something, right? Kate?
Yeah, Kate Bishop, I think.
Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
I remembered something. Wow.
We have like Black Widow and her sister. We have like a bunch of, we have T'Challa's sister. I forget her name. Like but it's nice to, and we all loved the delightful Ms. Marvel, right? We love
she's the best.
Kamala Khan. And it's nice to see another young woman of color leading a Marvel series, because the original Avengers are all white men, right? And to see, like, I really like how they depicted her. She's from Chicago. She's from a certain part of Chicago, but they didn't make it like there are dangers in the city and she's had this trauma, but they don't make her like a stereotypical way that you could depict life in Chicago. I thought they did a nice job of depicting her family life and where she's from and how much she loved Chicago, and she got out and she really wanted to come back. She forgot how much she loved Chicago for a while, right? Like, I liked how how she was really rooted there. I thought that I'm not from Chicago, I'm not a young woman, and I'm not of color, but I thought it all I liked how they did all that.
You know what I really thought was going to happen? Sorry, I'm diverting a bit, but I just wanted to say, because I keep thinking about it. The one thing I thought was going to happen is whenever they showed like the flashback that the Hood Parker had, like, I really thought that it was going to end up that he was part of the drive-by that killed her stepfather.
Well, that would have been an interesting twist.
Yeah, I thought it would have been, and that's where I thought they were going when they started the flashback. And I'm like, oh, okay. To me, that would have been a little more interesting. Although it would have also been a little cliche too, to be honest, because that's the fact that I thought that it's like it's happened before.
Yeah.
But,
All right. Well, we should move on to our next show. Final thoughts?
Yeah,
I mean,
my only thought is I like the magic stuff. I know Karen didn't, but I thought it was cool. I really liked. Where's that girl? It might be in my pictures.
Oh, the magician girl in the magic shop.
Yeah,
Powerful witch. That powerful witch that she meets up with.
Her. I don't remember her name, but I really liked her, and I thought that whole scene of like her, her mother didn't even know what she was up to, and that, like, I just liked that scene. I thought it was done well and it was cool, and yeah.
She'd be a good like sidekick in a second season. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the magic is not my thing, but I liked how like she was doing magic in a little more modern way than her mother, and like she was doing magic around the building of the suit and all.
She reminds me of, and I can't think of her name. Cat.
She kind of reminded me of Cat too.
Yeah, okay. It was Cat. That's what I thought. Yeah, she reminded me of her. I also liked towards the end whenever Riri tricked Parker, how she used the hologram and like blew everything off. I thought that was cool too.
Yeah. And Magic Girl's name is Zelma, by the way.
Zelma.
Of course, Zelma. Parker. Yeah, I think it would have been cool if it turned out that it was Parker killed her father-in-law and best friend. Yeah. And now maybe she has, the other thing is now maybe Riri has some allies, like if it does go on, because his team has left him and given up on him. So that could be cool, I think, in season 2.
Yeah, I mean, his team, it was really pretty obvious from the beginning that Parker had a personal vendetta against someone and that he was working towards something, and his team didn't see it. Whatever, they just saw money, but then they do feel kind of betrayed at the end, and when they learn that he killed Stuart, right? Yeah. They're really but Jen says I really like that theory, Jamie, talking about the theory that Parker was involved in the drive-by. Mm-hmm. I really like that theory. It would have really pitted Riri against Parker. Yeah. And about this is, I think, about Zelma. I wonder if she will help Parker in season 2,
or if Parker's going to trick her.
Parker's going to trick her.
Yeah. Overall, I thought it was really good. Like most, I think 6 episodes actually worked for me this time. I feel like 8. Well, I feel like 8 could have fleshed out some more. I felt like we didn't have enough time with Zeke. I thought he was he turned too quickly. From hiding out because he's ashamed of his father to helping Parker to saying I don't really want to help Parker. Riri just he flipped too much too quick.
Yeah, I would like to see more of him. I did like him, and I liked their friendship that they were building before everything went down too. I would have liked to have seen maybe more of that, but I don't feel, I guess, like anything is incomplete with only 6 episodes, and usually I feel like that. But thanks, Scarlett. Yes, please, everybody, like the video and subscribe to Sci-Fivision. It is always helpful.
All right, want to do Murderbot next?
Sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Since I actually liked it.
Season finale. Yep.
I seem to actually like the finale too. So, right.
Yeah.
There. You guys can start. I'm just getting the picture open. Wire.
AJ, why'd you like it so much?
I think I liked it because we went back. I have decided. I think I like the corporate stuff. And the humans our humans were smart for a change. They weren't stupid and incompetent, which was a nice change. I don't know. The whole flow of the episode was done really well. I love the fact that Garathan actually, I think he understands Sec Unit now, after downloading all his memories into him. I think he really has an understanding of him now, which is why I think he realizes that he's not just checking the perimeter at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
I'd be curious if it continues if it gets a season 2. I'll be curious to see if he ever sees them again, or if it's now about him interacting, passing off as a human for the rest of the series.
It has been
yeah.
renewed, though.
Oh, has it? Okay. I thought, like I said, I just think the episode really flowed really well. And it was just nice to see smart people for a change.
Yeah, I really liked the way, I agree, the way it flowed too. The only like negative I have about it, which I think is probably being saved for season 2, is that I really wanted to see more about the massacre and what that was about. And I was waiting to see that, and they dropped that storyline. I mean, they didn't drop it, but they only briefly mentioned it, so I'm guessing it's going to come back. My other worry, and we talked about this yesterday, is I'm also guessing it seems like that when it does come back, it's probably going to be a new cast other than him, which is a shame.
Well, that's what I was kind of getting at.
Yeah, because I feel like, I know you guys don't necessarily agree with me, but I would have liked to have more episodes, longer episodes. And I feel like we didn't get enough backstory, and I finally started to feel like I was knowing these people, and now they're like not going to be in the show probably. So that I feel is a negative, because I really like that. I understand that that's not where the story goes, like with the book, but I hope that they're at least, somewhat in the story.
Well, the more reason we didn't need to waste time on their backstories.
I guess that's true. But I do like, and when I first watched it, I guess like I wasn't sure I liked the ending because it was really sad. But then when I rewatched it and saw, like, I mean, it's bittersweet, and I get it, and it totally makes perfect sense, because that's what the whole show's about, is making the choice. And yeah, I like that, and that it's like giving the transmission at the end. Although the first time I watched it, I didn't pick up. I missed that Garathan was tearing up. I didn't pick up on the fact that he like realized Sec Unit was leaving. For whatever reason, I missed that the first time. So that I think made better. That scene at the very end was really good between the two of them, and I like that he's come around, and now he's the one that wants to help him, where before he was. The one that did not like Sec Unit.
Yeah, so I disagree a little bit. I don't really care if I get a new cast of people next season, as long as the story is good. We have a star. He moves through the universe. He meets new people, whatever. I also, like, throughout most of the season, this crew was not always particularly likable, right? How do you say his name? Garathan was unlikable. He's an antagonist to Sec Unit through most of the season, right? Mm-hmm. And the other people, the other three, are mostly sort of backgroundy characters there just to act doofy and helpless and comic relief. Like, most of them don't really have a huge role to play, right?
Mostly him and Mensa.
They so I don't think that I would miss them. I agree that you just got to know them a little better, and then they do the right thing in the last episode. I mean, I like the corporate stuff also. I think for these people, that is where they're comfortable. They were uncomfortable out of their element on the planet, right? And afraid. But when you put them in a conference room with corporate, I mean, one of them is the president, right? You put them in this conference room, and that's sort of more their element, and they know exactly what to do. We're going to file a lawsuit. We're going to go to the press. We're going to, So that was kind of... that's one reason why I enjoyed it. They got to demonstrate some competence finally, right? And they kind of rallied around our hero, but I don't know that I would really miss them necessarily. And I don't know that they're 100% wouldn't come back. I think this is a series of novellas, right? Is that what this Murderbot is? And so the first book is done. The second book is coming. I mean, they'll go to the second novella. I don't know how many there are, but anyway, I really liked it, and I like the way Sec Unit, when he decides to, these people go out of their way to make him a part. And Jamie, I know that Apple was kind of clear, at least in the beginning, that Sec Unit is it. I kind of feel like the point of the show is that he's not it. Like, that they go from thinking of Sec as it to come to think of him as him. him, her, they, whatever, but go from thinking of sec unit being a robot to becoming a person. And so for me, when I say him,
no, I agree. I just was trying
as a person, and I think that's the point of the show. But I know that Apple has always referred to sec as it in all their materials, right? So, but
yeah, I agree. I think that's kind of the point, that they don't look at it like an it, but that's. I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe season 2 they'll do it a little differently. I don't know, but at least for season 1,
I don't know that he looks at himself as an it or is becoming a him or a she or a they or whatever, right? But him. I mean, they call him him. I really like.
He thinks of himself as an I.
I know. I was gonna say maybe sec unit needs to decide if it wants to be an it or a him or a whatever they.
I mean, sec unit. So it's not. I got to think back to when I watched. You know how much TV we had to watch this week. At the end, I mean, he communicates to the bot that runs the ship to come and pick him up, and he trades like videos with the. He's like, they like television also. That was cute. But is he like passing as human? Or is he a type of sentient robot that's allowed to roam freely without a governing unit? Like, what really is happening there at the end?
I
feel like he
isn't
free
robots. Sorry, I would assume there isn't, because I feel like if there was, they would have mentioned that. I mean, I could be wrong, but
I forget the name of the planet that the crew is from, which I can't remember any of their names right now.
Press Ox, or however you say it.
Sec unit does say to them, wait a minute, on your planet, robots are allowed to just walk around and like hang, right? Like on their planet, they don't believe in the enslavement of robots. And they allow robots to become part of society. And there's not a need to try to pass as human, right? The way like a vampire would have to or whatever, right? In other shows that we watch. But in other parts of the universe are not free planets like that, right?
Right.
Yeah, I took it personally. The way it ended for me, how I took it was that he's passing off as human.
Mm-hmm.
And he even kind of says that. He goes, I just look like an augmented human walking around here. Like nobody knows I'm a robot.
They would, just like they'd look at Grathan, I guess.
Right.
Preservation Ox off the planet. Yeah.
Which, by the way, when Grathan first gave him his memories back, I love when they're like, Sec Unit, are you okay? And he doesn't say anything. They're like, are you there? Are you okay? Do you know who we are? He goes, I'm missing episodes, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, he was not happy about that. I don't know. Overall, I like this story and I like where it went. And like I said, even if maybe at the beginning I wasn't quite on board with the ending, although getting renewed does help that. I like it because the more I thought about it, the more it's what needed to happen. Like it's what it was all building towards of him making choices for itself. And so I think that was like what they were trying to get it to do in the first place. What just happened? Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
I'm spinning. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or
it's your Wi-Fi. It happens
Must
to me.
Be you.
I think it's mine.
That's what happens to me in Jersey all the time.
Whoa.
I don't know if Jamie can hear us right now.
I'm gonna exit out and back in. Oh wait, there it came back. Kind of. Can anybody hear me?
Yes. So two things, Jamie.
It's my internet.
Jamie,
I don't know if people can hear me because I don't hear anybody.
You can't hear us?
I'll type. Do you guys hear me, Jamie?
I'll answer her before she gets done typing.
Yeah. I'm going to have to, I think, restart the computer. I have to tell
So she would really be okay if she just refreshed the window, but whatever. We lost the whole thing, right?
Right. She went out.
So she said she wasn't down with the ending at the beginning. After she watched the ending, she wasn't down with it, but then she came around. I really felt like I wasn't down with the beginning of this show. Like I really didn't like the show in the first couple episodes.
I didn't either.
It took me. I don't know that I ever loved this show.
Actually, I think you liked it more than I did for a couple episodes too. It wasn't until like the last 2 episodes, maybe 3, that I was actually like starting to like it.
Yeah.
Like I got the humor, I got the jokes, I got what they were doing. It just, to me, there was nothing about, and I think it was mainly the humans, because there was just nothing redeeming about them. And this is kind of why, because this is a story of him just going through whatever he's going through each book, you know?
Yeah. And I kind of felt like, is this a comedy? Is this not a comedy? Like, what's going on here? Sorry, Jamie texted, her Wi-Fi's out. So yeah, I mean, and the comedy just doesn't, comedies aren't my thing, and it was kind of but it grew on me. I mean, certainly Sec Unit grew on me, right? And I certainly don't mind Skarsgård, any Skarsgård ever on my television.
Well, I said early on, if Alexander Skarsgård wasn't in it, I probably wouldn't have even watched it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bad her computer decided to install an update in the middle of her using it. Jamie has the worst luck.
Okay, that is her own fault, because you got to have the settings to ask you before doing that.
Yeah. Well, she might be a little while. We'll keep talking. At any rate, I liked how it ended. I liked how it ended for Sec Unit to be going on and exploring more of the universe. As I said, I'm down with a new cast, but I do think like Mensa she's his favorite human. Like we might see these people again in some way.
I don't think so, and I don't need to.
Yeah.
I feel like their story with that, and they're going home. There's, I don't see where any more adventures with them would go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so. I mean, what really could happen to them? What more is there with that? Like Murderbot's story, his life is almost just beginning in a sense, right? But for all them, like, what more is there to explore about them for their story to go? Yeah. You're right. So, all right. Well, anything else about that? Anybody in the chat got any more comments about it? Any?
I think we can move on to Resident Alien.
Okay, let's talk about Resident Alien. And without Jamie having any photos, I like to pull up just a little recap to have to glance at while we do this. So this episode, we both loved, right?
Yes. As Damon said while watching it, oh my God, this show just took a hard left turn.
Yep. Yep. It sure did.
It got dark fast.
This episode was called Soul Providers. It got dark fast. I mean, dark,
deep. Sorry, not dark.
Deep.
Yeah.
Deep. I mean, Harry's journey in this episode is like, this show is entirely about his experience of humanity and becoming more human, and more happens in this one episode that maybe has happened in the entire show in terms of his like depth of understanding and feeling, right?
I mean, he grew a soul.
He did, and he's like holding that baby, and like it is not at all where I thought it was going to go in the first scene where he's been abducted by the housing authority, and they're going to hold him accountable for his crimes, I guess, right?
Like, I love when they buzz him. Nobody knows. He's like, "What the hell?" No swearing. Bzz. And then he's like, "Son of a mother." Close enough.
Yeah. It was. I mean, that was so. I mean, I enjoyed that. This Galactic Housing Council, which I don't even know why they're called the Housing Council, because that's not even like, they're more like they're just like this really powerful alien council, right? That sort of like is the governing body.
They house aliens on different planets to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
And Earth belongs to the Greys.
Yeah. So there's a list of the charges here that I just looked up: refusing to leave Earth, sabotaging the Greys, kidnapping a human baby, harboring Bruce, the stowaway, and then unleashing a mantid into the universe even though it was by mistake. Like, these are they are serious crimes, and his punishment is going to basically be the Sarlacc pit, right? Don't they say like we're going to send you to be digested? They don't call it the Sarlacc, but that's basically what it is, right? And he makes a deal with them in order to avoid this fate, right? But the key to it is that we learn that. So how do you feel about the turn of events that what the Greys are doing is harvesting the babies' souls? Like the reason they kidnap human babies, like
not nice.
Not nice, but I thought all along that they were like, I don't know, doing testing, building hybrids, trying to take over the world kind of thing, right? And it turns out they're harvesting their souls. For eternal life, right? They eat the souls or they use the souls to extend their life, right?
Yeah.
And as wrinkle cream.
Yes, wrinkle cream. That's right.
So when you said it turned dark, that is a pretty dark.
Yeah, I didn't mean dark. I meant deep. I meant like, with him getting a soul and and everything with Darcy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That conversation between Harry and Darcy was, even probably one of the best conversations about something like that, and all of the television that we watch, let alone on Resident Alien of all places.
That was basically the last scene, right?
The last scene was when they dug up the mantis and found out it was gone.
Oh yeah, you're right. But it was
a little. We had a bit of a montage there at the end, and then they finished digging up the mantis, and they're like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah. So I just pulled up a little recap, which I should give credit to Geek Girl Authority, which is who I'm referring to right now, who recapped it, and I didn't. But he's basically saying like Darcy. I mean, it's really like Darcy. We're jumping all around, but Darcy's basically like, what's the point of me even living, right? It's really very sad, actually.
Yeah.
She's like, I failed again. I failed my best friend. Should I even be alive? And she's implying that she should maybe do herself in. And Harry's like, look, you're a mess, but you're part of the world and we're all connected. And if you weren't here, like the world wouldn't be complete. I think is what he said to her, right?
Yeah, and her whole thing is she's a liar, and Asta believes her. So she's like, "What's my purpose now? Why does Asta believe me? She shouldn't believe me. She never believes me." And which is ironic because I think Asta believed her because she is her friend, and because she wants to give her the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of ironic how the two of them have that conversation and the way each of them take it.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, the lead up to all that was priceless with Darcy and
Judy.
What? Judy. Every week I forget her name. Everything their antics leading up to it was great. I love when they go to the cops and Liv's taking the statement and Mike calls them out and Judy and Liv is like, yeah, I kind of got the same thing. And she turns the notepad around and it says they're drunk.
Yeah. It was the lighter part of the story this week, and it was really needed and it was really great. Those two are great on screen together. And it was comedic and funny, but also like really painful as Darcy like continually fails to find this money, right?
Yeah. Turns out she almost did deposit it. She tried. She just put it in a mailbox instead, which was next to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
So she did try.
Yeah, and the money was turned in, and it was fine, but it was kind of like too late, right?
Oh my God! And how about when Judy was like, "Oh, remember when I took those sexy selfies of us last night?" And they're like scrolling through, and they're all like,
"Everyone, one is uglier than the next." They're all horrible, horrible selfies. Yeah. But I mean, for me, the best part of the episode was when. So let me back up. I was disappointed when Harry is at the Galactic Housing Council. I thought he very quickly gave up the information about Kate's baby. Like, they're like, we want to know where this baby is. And I thought he, like, pretty much, I mean, we know that Harry has no sort of willpower or no, and that he's very selfish, right? Here's Jamie.
Hi,
Jamie.
Jamie.
I am swearing at Windows right now. I didn't
Okay.
even know it could do that. I think it updated in the middle of me using it. Like, it just decided, I guess, because I kept telling it no, that it was going to do it whether I liked it or not. And I don't know.
You're supposed to set it up to not do it until you click.
It's set up to never update.
It's okay.
without my permission. But anyway, yeah.
We're talking about Resident Alien.
Like, I can't get it back. I can't get it back. It finally came back.
We're on Resident Alien.
Okay.
We've been digging into it, but how did you like this episode?
I really liked this episode actually a lot because this was the first
We
time
did too.
I feel like he finally made the right choice, even though, you always want him to make the right choice. He never does. So I really liked that. And yeah, Kate and Ben finally get their baby back, which I also think is something like that's been going on a little too long. And it's nice to have that part of it over.
The only thing I don't like about that, though, is I want the Mike and Liv and Kate and Ben to know about Harry. I want everybody to know. I want everybody to know that they all know, and
Yeah.
And which might happen with the Manson still running around. And I just realized I'm Karen now.
Oh yeah, I'm AJ. And AJ's Karen. Yeah, that's okay. People know who we are.
Like that. You just swap it. It's fine.
Oh, okay. So we got pretty deep into it, but if you want to like quickly move through these and share your thoughts, and we didn't really talk about the powwow at all, which is my favorite part. But we can maybe, I know you prepared this, and let's get into it.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay? Because my audio is like all,
Yes.
I don't know.
By the way, when you were like, can you hear me? We can hear every word when you're thinking.
Okay. Well, no, it feels really, I don't know. My audio, something's wrong with
No,
my
you
audio.
sound fine.
Sound
But anyway, I like that we got a lot of different aliens here. This person reminded me of Defiance, though. Like, that makeup is
Oh yeah, I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. But my only other thing is the story with Darcy and
Judy.
Like, I kind of liked it, but at the same time, I don't know that I like Darcy messing up again. Like, I like that Darcy was doing better, and I was a little upset that she hit the bottom again, but hopefully Ost will forgive her and all will be right.
I hear you.
Comment with that.
I hear you on that, Jamie. Before you got here, AJ and we both thought that paid off really well at the end of the episode when Darcy has that incredible conversation with Harry, where she's at the very bottom,
where she's thinking about that she shouldn't be alive, and he helps her out. I really enjoyed that. I did enjoy that. But yeah, I just am kind of like disappointed that they had Darcy mess up again. Like, we've seen that a lot.
I think it's been a long time coming because she never was better. Like, she stopped drinking for a while, but she never really dealt with anything. So it was, and it happens to people all the time. They relapse, and I think this is Darcy's bottom. She hadn't hit bottom until now. This might not even be her bottom, but it's close. This is more of a bottom than what we've experienced with Darcy before.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. It might not be her bottom because the money was found and it all worked out in the end, right?
She doesn't know that yet, though.
Yeah. Okay. You're right.
I have to question the sanity, though, in giving him a baby and letting him take care of it for a while. I'm like, why are you giving him the baby at all? Like, the baby may not make it to the other person.
I loved every moment of this entire sequence. I thought
I did too. I just was like, why? I wouldn't be dumb enough to do that, but I did like this sequence.
I mean, he's raising his own baby. He's not a menace.
Kind of. He does kick it a lot and everything. So
it's an alien who can take it, right? He
So
has
that makes it okay, Karen.
Look, I don't know what the custom is of raising babies on this planet. I'm saying I really don't think Harry is a danger to that baby, and I thought he was very hesitant to, and I thought it was incredible his experience that he had while he was holding this baby. I loved Kayla's costume here is incredible. All the costumes are incredible. The entire the fact that they even did this scene on this show, that they presented a powwow, is just fantastic, right? I just loved every part of this. Sorry, I'll shut up now. You guys talk.
No, I was gonna say, I'm sorry if I talk over you. You guys are going in and out, and I'm having a really hard time telling for sure when you're talking. So if I'm talking over you, I'm not trying to.
I'm pointing to you. You go.
Yeah, I'm just saying I like the cultural aspect that they added, and that we got to see that dance and see more of kind of her family and what's important to Asta and her family. And I like how he connected with it. I thought that was really good, and I like the idea he has a soul, or at least he believes he has a soul. I don't know. Yeah, and like I said, I like that he made the right choice for once. He always tries to, or thinks of it and never does it, but he actually, gave the baby back and is risking himself by saying, "Oh, I'll find the man and kill it," when he might not be able to. But yeah, he gave the baby back, and that was kind of the big thing we've been waiting for. Although I kind of had wanted Darcy to be the one to give the baby back, so I would have liked if maybe he had left it with Darcy and then Darcy took it over. That's my only negative about that.
Yeah, especially in light of the recent episodes where Darcy really it was hard for her to give the baby to Kayla, and she was making all these excuses to go to the res. She really had a hard time separating from that baby at all.
Right.
So I think you're right. That would have been nice. But I also agree with what you said earlier, that the story needed to move, and they needed to get that baby back, or something had to happen, right?
Right.
You know what I just thought of? It's actually a good thing about the Mantid being alive. Liv might finally get to see an alien.
That would be cool.
Yeah. We did have this thing in this. Jamie, go ahead and click. I don't want to get ahead of what you've presented for us.
Oh no, go ahead. I was just kind of randomly picking ones based on what you said.
Well, I was going to talk about Kate and Ben with the baby, and they're setting up a nursery, and then Kate and Ben are talking, and they start to think is Harry an alien, and they ask Max, is Harry an alien, and Max lies.
No, he didn't.
He's not an alien right now. He
lied about it. All right. He doesn't lie. He tells the truth, but why does he not tell his parents? What do you think about Max? Max could have said, why did Max do that? Why didn't Max say, yeah, he's an alien? He's an alien. So right now he's human, but come on, he's an alien, right? And he has been an alien all this time.
But technically he's telling the truth right now.
Okay, but why did he do that? He hates Harry.
I know. I kind of wondered that too.
He doesn't like Harry. Why?
Because he doesn't have any context with his parents. He doesn't know that they are aware of aliens.
No, he doesn't.
You know what I mean?
So that it was a trick question,
Yeah. This is also Max.
Yeah, I just I'm wondering what Max's motivation is, and so I hadn't considered that. You think if he tells his parents that Harry's an alien, they're gonna be like, "Oh, something's wrong with you. You need to go to therapy," right? Is that?
Well, I don't know if he was that to that degree, but it was so random, that they ask him this.
Yeah, I kind of wondered if he thought that maybe they were trying to trap him the way he did it.
Yeah, I didn't think about the trap part.
They asked him that all of a sudden, if he knew maybe more of what was going on. We might have to. Okay, we came back again. I was going to say, I keep losing it. My Wi-Fi is giving me really bad strength. So I might lose it again.
It's fine. It happens to me all the time. I just refresh the browser.
You know what I thought was funny was when the kids were in the diner and Shiraz's like, what do I do with all this Mantid spray? And what he say? Sell it as spider spray or something? Tell people it's. But it's a good thing she still has it, because the Mantid's not dead.
Off the ends, France. I love that.
And Harry has promised the Galactic Housing Council that he's like, I'll kill the Mantid for you, because he thinks he has a dead Mantid in his back pocket, right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, I'll kill it, because secretly it's already dead. And guess what? They didn't adequately kill it.
Yeah, but and that's what's gonna. I think that's what's gonna finally bring everybody together. I think you're gonna have Team Harry headed for the Mantid coming from the left, and then you're gonna have Team Liv coming from the right, and they're gonna meet in the middle and be like, "Oh," and then we're gonna have that moment when Kate says, "Max, why did you lie to me about Harry being an alien?" He goes, "Well, because he's not right now."
Well, yeah.
I could see him saying that.
And you know what? I'm really glad that this story found a way for him to get his mojo back. And I really can't wait to see what happens once he does get his alien juice back, because I'm very curious to see how his thought process goes. Does he keep the way he's been feeling, or does getting his alien juice back totally make him like a jerk again?
Yeah, like he grew a soul holding that baby and going to the powwow and like speaking to grandma. He grew a soul, and now he's like, if I fail, they can have my soul, because a person who has a soul would rather give up their soul than have babies be have their souls harvested for life extension. And as Jen pointed out, and they feed the babies to the kids that they have. So it's forced unknown cannibalism. And
Fletch.
Harry, like, it's Fletch. Having a soul has made Harry like willing to sacrifice his soul for the babies. But you're right. If he gets his alien mojo back, will he still have a soul? And he's a very selfish person when he's an alien,
Will that
right?
come back?
Yeah. Yeah. So
now we also have too that the thing in charge of
Daddy
of his alien mojo is his father, which they showed in the preview is the guy, I don't know his name, from Office Space, but I don't know his name.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts before we move on?
Thank you, AJ. We got to keep moving. No, I think we talked a lot about it. I think this was a really like, this episode is maybe a turning point in the story this season, right? Maybe. Could be, depending on what happens next week. And that's it. Should we keep moving?
Yeah, sure. We haven't even hit an hour yet. We're moving really fast tonight.
We got a lot.
We still have Revival and 2 episodes of Sandman.
And 2 episodes of what?
Sandman.
Oh, Sandman. Okay, sorry. You're going. I can hear half the sound. Do you want to do Revival or Sandman first?
Revival.
Okay. I'm trying to open the image here. Okay, let's see.
Also a good episode with a lot going on.
There hasn't been a bad episode of Revival.
No, there hasn't been.
No.
Here we go. Oops.
All right.
Okay. So, are we following Smoke? I have not seen Smoke. Have either of you seen Smoke?
No, I don't even know what Smoke is.
It's funny. I just responded to him in the text.
Okay, I was going to say I've heard of it.
I saw a trailer for it. It's on Apple. I saw a trailer for it, but it didn't really jump at me.
We'll have to try that. But no, I haven't tried it. So this episode is basically all about about Dana being in the hospital and about M planting the bullet to fix what they did, what went wrong before. I feel like not quite as much happened in this one though that happened in the last one, although I did enjoy it.
I mean, so there is some stuff that is slow burning more in the show than it did in the comic, and so I am waiting to see where that all goes. But we're getting a lot of I mean, it's all coming. I like this episode. I liked seeing some of the like political ramifications of like people who want to restrict reviver rights and that whole part of it. Like I enjoyed. where that's going. You know, we had this long sequence with the crime scene and finding out who was the shooter. Also, I mean, those were the main things, right? I feel like we didn't get too much of the. We got some of the like the religious. They're all men, right? They're all like white men, and well, they're all. I mean, it's Minnesota, right? Wisconsin. But we got.
You know, I didn't even think about the fact that there's no women there. I didn't even catch that.
They're all men, right?
Yeah.
I think they're all men. These sort of, you know,
men. What did you guys think he
Blaine
was doing?
and his Blainites, whatever we're calling them.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys though, because I definitely thought when I watched this that this guy was sticking his hand into a furnace to brand himself. Now, Karen, I guess, knows more about it, so maybe she knows the answer to this. But I thought it was just a furnace. I didn't really think much about it until when Lori and I were talking about it.
I thought more about it.
Well, I don't know, but when we were talking about it, that was when the showrunner Luke started talking and was like, "Oh, it's not. That's not what it is. It's more than that." And I don't know. Yeah. So now I'm like all intrigued and want to know what the hell's going on. And it wasn't what I thought.
What, that you think it was a furnace? It was not.
I just thought it was a furnace or a fire or something that he stuck his hand in to brand himself. I missed.
Yeah, no, I got the feeling. I'm not sure what branded his hand, but I started thinking, what if these idiots are responsible for Revival Day? Because whatever the hell kind of hoodoo that they got going on. This isn't exactly what I think, but it sounded like they got some kind of demon tied up in the back room, and you brand yourself on the demon like burns you with his tongue or some shit, and they've been doing some kind of religious mumbo jumbo shit that is what's responsible for Revival Day. Like, that's what I started thinking in that final scene. I could be completely off, but I just got that initial feeling.
It definitely is intriguing, and I want to know what the hell's going on more, because like I really
something tells me we're going to find out more in episode 6.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I didn't put much stock into it when I watched it. Like, I didn't even really think anything of it until he said that, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, I immediately was like, what the hell was that? Because before the kid goes in there, I swear to God, I heard a growl of some sort.
Yeah, it kind of making that weird noise like when the kids were in the tent in the woods. It made me think of that with the light and everything, but I don't know.
I thought when the kids were in the tent that it was the guy with the wrinkled skin.
Wait, say that again? You thought it was the guy wearing the skin. What?
With the wrinkled skin.
The creature.
The guy.
Sure.
The guy's
the one that was burnt, you mean? That had the. Okay. That could be. I don't know. Sorry, I'm like hearing bits and pieces. You're saying it. It's hard for me to hear everything. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but like I said, I didn't really think anything of it until he said that, and I'm like, wait, what? But yeah, that was a very interesting conversation that we had on Friday, because he was like talking to us through like most of the show, so that was fun, and we got kind of a little bit of tidbits of what's. Yeah.
I mean, I would say, I mean, I know, so they're handling this a little differently than they did in the comic. To some extent, this character is kind of different. This guy, what's this guy's name? I'm pointing at the screen. This guy's name, Blaine, right? He's kind of different. I would say, like, yes, he reached out to a light source that burned his hand, and that you know he's burned. But
it's not a furnace.
Not a furnace. It's not and yes, it's related to Revival. I mean, but this character's a little bit different. They handled the shooting, the way the shooting was resolved, a little bit different also. Davis shooting, but it's interesting to me to, like, it's kind of good when they mix it up, because do I want to read a comic and then watch the show and everything exactly the same? Like, that's maybe not.
Exactly. My thoughts too.
Right, and so in the comic book, there's a younger man who was an exorcist who is around. And so this is all handled kind of differently with these guys, but the whole religious like uprising thing is a major part of the comic series, and we can see where this is going. These guys are like a religious cult, kind of, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely a cult around this like Blaine's like personality, and like, is he a charlatan? He does appear to be a charlatan right now, right? Until we see this kind of branding experience in the basement. Like, is there actually any power behind him? What is that? But clearly his people are willing to, his cult is such that these guys are willing to do this for him. But is he full of it? Is he capitalizing on a situation? Does he know more? Like, all that is still very up in the air, I think, right?
I do wish, though, that they had at the beginning put in the show that he was a preacher, because I think that it would have given more credence to them believing him. And I'm wondering if the scene was cut, because I know Stephen Ogg had talked about the scene of him singing in the church, and I'm wondering if that was why, like, that when that was cut, that, like, I'm assuming that was cut, unless it's something later on down the road. I'm wondering if whatever was the introduction to him, they changed, because I would have never known that he was pastor, preacher, I don't know, whichever it is, but I would have never known that if he hadn't told me that, or I hadn't read about it, like that the comic said that. At least I think it was the same in the comic. But anyway, when he told me, I was like, oh, I didn't realize that.
Well, he's like a self-professed exorcist in the comic. He's not like a priest from the Vatican doing exorcisms. He's like a guy doing exorcisms.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know about the exorcism part.
It's similar. It's similar. Well, people who are, you know how some of the revived people. Well, I mean, in the comic book, there's like this sort of freelance exorcist that has been going around doing his, like, he was just an exorcist who came because of Revival Day, right? Like, to kind of like, and like there's a girl who he exorcises, and he's like, parents, leave the room. And then he's like, I know you're full of shit. You're not possessed. You're just like 18, and like, you want to fuck with your parents because you want to get out of here. So you better straighten up or whatever. Like, it's a fake exorcism, right? It's like a person who's faking being possessed. And so you get the sense, like, is this guy a charlatan? Is he like, is he whatever? But I mean, I think right now with Blaine's character, we kind of still, I mean, I know what's going on. Yes, creative guy, we just finished Resident Alien. I'm really sorry about that you got here just as we finished.
Like the episode?
Started on the new show. But type in the chat how much you liked it or didn't like it. We loved it, creative guy.
And you could always go back and watch after we're done, replay it.
Yes, you can always restream the parts that you missed.
Anyway, I know what this is, but it's a little different. And in the comic, at this point, it probably has already been shown to us what's going on with Revival.
Yeah, I don't know. I just was a little surprised, and I'm glad that there's something that like shocked me, because I've, had seen further and was still like, wait, what? And a little bit, so it's nice to be to not know what's going on sometimes. The other
he's a crackpot cultist.
Yes, he does seem like a crackpot cultist. This is true.
Well, yeah.
The other thing that I think is, other than the whole bullet thing that is important, is that the governor demotes Ibrahim, and that she is letting them continue. I have a picture of him somewhere.
Torturing everybody.
I don't remember his name, but continue to torture him and experiment on him. And maybe
not just him, right? Like, we see this, but it was not like, has Dr. Morell done this before? Does she plan to do it to more people? Like, this is some scary shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Or is it okay because this is the guy who was the prisoner who escaped from prison, right?
Yeah.
And he has committed some crimes that I forget what they are, but I guess they're bad. And like, experimentation on prisoners is like bad shit that happens in bad countries, right? Like, why is that okay? Is that okay? Why is, like, there's a lot going on in this scene about what Wausau is going to become, or what, like, right? Like, do you guys think it's okay that they did this? I don't.
No, I think it's the start of concentration camps potentially, and it's very bad. I do though think the idea, not that I like that they're doing it, but the idea that like they thought to slow them down, like they're trying different things, and they thought like, oh, let's use snake venom. That was not something I would have expected. But yes, what they're doing is awful. And I kind of question, like, clearly before when they had skin that like healed, when Ibrahim had it like at the beginning of the season, I'm guessing that it was from Arlene before they knew she wasn't dead and that she was going to come back. So like they have skin to experiment on. They have no need to do what they're doing. And the other thing is if they really do need to find things out, like for science, they have a scientific reason. These people do heal. Why not just like knock him out for an hour and like so he can't feel it and take a piece of skin or something? I'm not saying that's okay, but at least it would be a little more humane, a lot more humane than what they're doing. Yeah, it's awful. It, like I said, it's starting down a dark path.
I mean, like, this is Creative Guy. I see all your comments about the show, about Resident Alien, and about the contract being up. And we're gonna we'll bring that up when we finish this conversation. Thank you, Creative Guy.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, we hope.
I mean, Jamie, those are all things that are legit conversations in the scientific community. Like, don't experiment on the lowest organism you can, right?
Yeah.
And if they have the skin, why? But I think it speaks to this idea of like some people think the revivers are not human, including Dana's father, whose name is, I think, Wayne.
Wayne, yeah, like Wayne.
He wants to call them an it, not a he. Like, there are people who call them it, not he or she. There are people who like don't really think that they're human, and like this man clearly feels pain, but Dr. Morell thinks it's fine to experiment on him without anesthesia, and just inject him with a bunch of snake venom, right? To see, like, this was crazy. And
well, that's why he was awake for it, though, because they found out that snake venom slows down the healing process.
Yeah, so that makes it actually even crueler because it's not even like healing because they slowed it down.
But I will say that is something that I feel like is going to come back around later. That's Chekhov's gun right there.
Yeah.
And like, why would you want to slow down the healing process? I feel like if revivers heal, I'm a scientist, I'd be like, how can I adapt that healing to non-dead humans, right? Like healing.
The why is because what do we do if we have another Arlene situation? How do we stop them?
They want to slow the healing so they can kill them.
Yeah,
people like Arlene or other people. Yeah.
Spectrum. Because you even wonder like if they were really trying to like use it for helping people instead of for stopping them, they might even have like people, that would volunteer.
There we go, Bill.
Like, you can take a sliver of my skin or whatever if you're doing it to try to make people live longer or heal disease or whatever. But they're clearly not going that route. And yes, Bill, we want more Arlene too. I miss Arlene. Arlene's great.
Not more Arlene, but yeah, that idea of venom bullets, that you could kill a reviver with like venom bullets.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean,
I will say one thing for Wayne this week. During the experiment, he did say, you know what, let's take a step back from this and we'll revisit it later, which is why the female doctor, whose name I don't know, went to the mayor.
Dr. Morell.
Yeah, so Wayne stopped them for a while. He didn't say it was not okay, though. I mean,
no, he did stop, but he at least stopped him for the moment, and he was like, "Let's take a step back from this for a second." And Morell went to the mayor.
Something smart.
I mean, he had to be a little diplomatic, I think, with her, and he doesn't maybe really have authority. I think Wayne truly was disturbed by this and thought, I think Wayne might have been at his limit right then to see a man being tortured right in front of him.
Yeah, he didn't seem to agree with it. I will give you that.
That's the only good thing I can say about Wayne.
Yeah, that's the one good thing.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I think Wayne, I mean, look, the time is coming when Wayne's going to have to reckon with his daughter being a reviver, right? That has to be coming.
Yeah, at some point it's going to happen.
Yep.
But,
end well.
To Wayne's credit, he really was not comfortable with like the torture of a reviver. Like, he doesn't want them to have rights. He wants to register them and track them. But he, God, I really want to make a comparison to political things happening in this country, but that's not the show our fans are watching, so I will refrain myself. But feel free to compare in your mind, the limit of how you treat a person who is different. So yeah, to Wayne's credit, he's not comfortable with this. Now he's not as vocal as Ibrahim is like
refusing to do it. Yeah.
He's like, "What? You can't do this? Are you crazy?" Like, he's very adamant that this is wrong, and he pays for it. And so Dr. Morell goes to the governor, not to the mayor. The mayor's wife is a reviver, right?
Or not the the governor. I meant
the governor,
not the mayor. You're right.
And the governor was like, continue the Venom Bulletin. The governor's like, whatever. The governor, who at first was like, register them, follow them. She says it worked. What'd you say? It worked after whatever. It'll work now. Or worked in COVID. It'll work now, she says, or something. And then she authorizes to continue with this. And she ends up firing Dr. What's his name? Dr.
Ibrahim.
Ibrahim.
She fires Ibrahim, right? Or she calls the CDC, and the CDC calls, and they're like, Ibrahim, you're fired. Dr. Morell's in charge.
Fired him. She demoted him. But we had this conversation.
Yeah.
I think you could maybe say you can't do this locally because she's like the local government, but I don't think she'd have jurisdiction to just fire him from the CDC completely.
She called the CDC, and the CDC called Ibrahim, and they're like, guess what? Dr. Morell's in charge now. You're demoted. Right?
Okay, I don't know. I didn't get that because she was the one that said it. I didn't realize.
No, the CDC calls Ibrahim, right? And they're like, get with the program. And he's like, no. And they're like, fine. If you can't get with the program, then Dr. Morell's in charge now. Like the CDC does offer him the opportunity to lead the torture program. And he says no. And so Dr. Morell is promoted over him.
Okay. I only remember the scene of her promoting her. So I don't know. Maybe I missed something there. But yeah, he is clearly refusing to play ball. Thankfully.
As he should.
Yes, yeah. He's the only one that's like makes sense and is using his brain right now.
Yeah. In terms of somebody like Dr. Morell, like her, I don't really know what motivates her. We don't see her. I think there's a lot of fear among a lot of people, and that makes people do shitty things sometimes.
Yeah.
Morell's got this look on her face like she just enjoys it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible.
She's always had that look on her face, like, hey, how much further can we push this? Like, it's just the look she gives. Not saying that's her actual thought process, even though that's the way she's kind of acting. But the look on her face all the time is like, ooh, let's try this.
Somebody, this is fun. That's what she looks like.
Yeah.
Or this is or that this is not a person, and I can, I mean, look, it's the way Dr. Mengele looked at certain people that he experimented on, right? I'm not comparing her to the most vicious Nazi doctor ever, but maybe I am.
Not a good thing, is it? Okay. And then we have the other part of the story is with M and her getting the bullets and and putting it, which I have to say, I actually think that was pretty smart that she did that in order to get the DNA from him on it. I mean, I would think they would know that they were in the woods and maybe know it was planted, but their police force isn't always the most thorough. So I'm just going to let it slide. But I do like what M did and how she.
That's pretty smart. Yeah.
And we were talking about the fact that there's like a missing bullet technically because there was, I forget now how many shots, but we went through the fact that like there had to be one missing because otherwise she wasn't able to do that. And they would have been like, the bullet was accounted for. And it ended up, it had to be that way, I think, in order for the plot to make sense in the end. But,
the bullet, so the bullet that was in her is the bullet that killed Aaron.
Right.
So it went through Aaron into her. And then Dana got shot. And I don't know what happened. That bullet.
No, the bullet that went into M was the one that went through Dana. So it
okay,
wasn't
so
the
then
one that went through Aaron.
But she was standing in front of Aaron too, though.
But that's
so
what I'm saying. Like the bullet that originally hit Aaron is not there. So
it went through Dana into M, right?
Yeah. But the bullet, I think we came up with, we discussed it at length and figured it out. But one of the bullets, I think it was the one that hit Aaron, like it wasn't there and it couldn't have been. But if they had found that bullet, then she couldn't have
But where did that bullet go?
So it kind of had to go. I don't know. It was just because they're not great at their jobs of finding their evidence.
Especially since M was standing in front of her.
No, I know. But it ended up.
That bullet went through. The bullet went through Aaron into M. Dana was shot by one bullet. The other bullet went through Aaron into M. So Aaron is found. So Dana has a bullet in her. Aaron does not. But that bullet is not found at the scene. So that's why M has to get Aaron's DNA onto the bullet and plant it at the scene. Right? Dana has had a bullet in her that they took out, I think.
That's
Aaron's bullet. Aaron's bullet.
That's not. I thought the bullet from Dana was the one that was in her. But it doesn't really matter. The point is, they had to do it that way in order for her to be able to do this. So, But my point was, I think the idea of getting the DNA on the bullet from him from going to get his body, and that I think was smart.
Yeah, that was really smart.
Yeah.
Oh, and I love these two together. And by the way, you guys, Kay, the roommate, is not in the comic book. She's an original character made for the show, and she's great. She's great with M. She's great in the scenes when Dana sometimes comes to her. She's great. I think she's a great addition to the show.
Yeah, I think they're funny together too. I think they're a lot of fun. But they did what they needed to do and got the bullet found, and that's what leads to, of course, the fact that the bullet seems to have come from.
And a little fun fact for anybody that didn't see our interview with Romy Weltman. She actually went in for. She actually auditioned for
K. Yeah.
For K, and then they called her back for M.
Oh yeah,
interesting. Yeah. I think she makes a great M too. So yeah, if you missed our interview with Romy, you can of course stream it from our live tab, and don't forget also that next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be having Luke Boyce, who's the showrunner. We're going to be interviewing him live as well. I need to schedule it so I can post a link, but that'll be coming up. And also, I talked to CM Punk today for the junket, who plays Anthony. I get the brothers mixed up. The eldest brother.
Yeah, the boss brother.
Yeah, for a post-mortem.
The one that they're trying to smuggle back in.
Right. So that will be coming up in a few days. It has to be after the episode airs because there's spoilers, but it'll be up in a few days. So yeah, lots of revival stuff. So make sure that you join us.
So here's my $1 million question. What the Irish cop, I forget what is his name, the one that works with the one that is crooked and works with the brothers.
His name is
the one that they arrested, McCrae.
McCrae, yeah. So
I think
how do we think his gun ended up as the murder weapon?
Because it wasn't him who did it.
Right.
Like, was it not him? So they discovered that his firearm fired the bullets, right?
Right.
And they found a foot in his trunk.
Yeah, well, I definitely think that he's just like...
You think he's being set up?
Yeah, I think he's the patsy. I think he's the dumb cop that they got to help him out, and they're like letting him take
the foot is something to do with the brothers, I'm guessing.
Probably,
but we know the shooter is the burned man. Or at least I assume it is, because he's the one that's been going in everybody's...
I mean the guy that's scarred. You keep saying the people, and I'm getting confused. The guy who's
scarred.
Who's
the burned man?
The guy that in the ski mask that has gone through the house, when he takes the ski mask off, he looks like chopped liver.
Okay, he looks like burned to me, not burned.
He looks like a burn victim.
It sounded like you said bird. I don't know because I can't.
Okay, that guy with
you thought you said bird?
The skin guy.
I thought you said bird, like flying bird. Maybe I missed. I heard.
Oh no, burn. B-U-R-N.
Okay, that makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. Yeah, I thought I couldn't figure out what you meant.
Now here's the thing about the burn man. So, Wayne figures out that the shooter is a cop because of the flashlight and the gun used.
Yeah.
So my question is, did he steal? Did he steal the gun to set him up, or is he I'm thinking he's got to be somebody that they think is dead. That's not a reviver.
Wait, you're saying the guy in the ski mask?
Yes.
Who probably framed McCrae with the gun?
Yes. He's got to be somebody that has been presumed dead all along.
Maybe. I'm wondering if it's two different stories, because that's the one thing that confuses me. Is I've mentioned before the whole thing that they briefly a couple times have mentioned the Black Deer case and about the girl that the father killed, which we don't exactly know what that is. And then in this episode, we see about this missing girl. So I wonder if maybe it has something to do with that, and that's her father or something, and he killed her. Talking about the guy in the ski mask, but what that has to do with and why he would shoot Em or Dana or Aaron is beyond me. That part I can't connect, but that's why I wonder if it's two separate things and we're getting mixed up, because I'm a little lost with that.
I mean, okay, Kelly, so someone who died in the fire and no one knows he came back. I would say to that, AJ thinks it looks like a person who was burned. But
they were burned before they died if they were a reviver, because
I look at that and I don't see a burn, and not just because I don't know
what to call it.
I don't think that, to me, that doesn't look like. I get, AJ, that you're struggling maybe to find a comparison for what it is.
It's not great makeup effect, so it's hard to tell. But I think
I originally called him the skinless guy.
Yes, the skinless guy.
Because it looked like he was missing skin.
It looks like a burn,
but to Kelly's point, someone who died and no one knows they died and came back, whether they died in a fire or whatever that person is, this person that you see, which I'm dying for some more stuff to come out so I can speak more. There's a name for this person. Look at Kiki's up with Jamie.
Everybody. Thinks I'm nuts.
That's interesting, Kelly, that it's someone who died and no one knows they came back, because maybe they don't have any loved ones or friends or anything like that. Could that be the person? That's right, you guys? I don't know. Yeah. AJ, that's what you're theorizing?
That's kind of what I'm surmising, yes. Or well, I mean, all right, because we do know that injuries before your death stay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be the case.
That's why I said if he's a reviver, whatever that injury was definitely happened before he turned into reviver, if he's a reviver.
Initially, I was just thinking he was somebody that was presumed dead prior to all this, and he was survived something, and nobody knew that he was, even supposed to be, they assumed he was dead, and they didn't know he wasn't dead. But it is a possibility now that he could be a reviver. But he got whatever happened to him, burned, acid in his face. Somebody cut him up with a scalpel. That he died after the fact of whatever happened to him, and he's a reviver. So that is a possibility.
Yeah, I don't love this effect because it looks a little different than the comic. But so he is snooping around in someone's house. So someone who has police files in boxes in whose house do you think that was?
I'm guessing Wayne's or Dana's.
Or Dana's, yeah, could be Dana.
So I don't really know. Some of this doesn't have direct scenes to the comic. Some of it does, but could be different. But I was thinking, was McCrae framed to get him out of the house because McCrae has files in his house?
That could be a thing too.
Ski mask guy wanted to get into McCrae's house. Although, couldn't you just break in there when he's at work, right? I don't know. And this missing person, he takes only this one missing person file, right?
Right.
So, I mean, maybe it could be a reviver who lost a loved one and wants to go looking for them. That seems a little unlikely because that would be a side story. Do we really need a side story? This show
there's
already.
That's the thing, though. There's a lot. I mean, especially when you tie in Aaron. So there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, I just know they keep
How it all
mentioning
comes together, I don't know.
they have black deer case, and they haven't explained it yet. And also, why does that guy have M's medicine? Is the other thing, that the one you're calling the skinless guy. I don't have. I think it was from a different episode, but I remember taking a picture of it, and like he had it like M's pill bottle, like when they were showing him, and we never found out why. So yeah, I don't know. Something's going on weird. But that isn't.
Yeah.
I can't.
I mean, Aaron dies differently in the.
Doesn't it suck when you know the answers, Karen, and you're trying to figure out a way to say things without saying things?
Yeah. Yeah. And
That's why you notice. That's why you notice a lot of times I don't talk at certain times. Like,
yeah. And Aaron, his resolution happens a little bit differently in the comic book. They decided to handle it a little bit differently in this. And actually the creators of the show gave an interview and talked about like Aaron, like how long could Aaron be? Could you keep Aaron around for 10 episodes is what the interview was. Like Aaron's character is a little, I mean, the fact that he's a little creepy. Like he had an affair with M, and also like how much there is there, right? And could you really like keep him around? And so they deal with him a little bit differently than the comic book dealt with him. But they come to the same conclusion with him, right? It just happened differently. But Aaron, like, I don't know. I guess I just love the part where, like, whatever happens to Aaron, like, that M becomes this. I love the role reversal of Dana's in the bed. Dana's unconscious, and then she's awake, but she's in the bed. And M becomes this kind of detective and does this kind of thing that, like, 3 episodes ago, did you think M would ever be that person? Like, M has really found a lot of strength.
Yeah.
Survivor, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I wonder.
She had to die to become alive.
Does her hair grow back every night? Does she have to, like, do that every morning? I don't know. But
seems to stay shaved, but
no, because she's not a vampire.
No, she's not a vampire.
But they heal. They heal. Does your hair heal?
Yeah, but your hair is dead already, so I would say probably not, because when you cut off hair,
your hair is dead skin cells. Your hair is dead cells. But she's really changed a lot in the last several episodes, right?
Yeah, she definitely has. But yeah, I'm interested. You're talking about like Aaron. Well, right now, some way we're on Revival. I want to know more about how they've changed the comic book, because sometimes the more I've read about the comic book, the more I realize that like they must be changing things around to make it work in a series that can go on, So that's kind of what I want to know more about and ask about next week. I'm curious, like, sort of what they, because I don't know. You've read the whole story, right?
Yeah, she does not. Okay. So for example, M doesn't have.
Anything, but...
For example, M does not have brittle bone disease in the comics.
Okay.
They don't give her this like condition in the comics. I guess they gave it to her so that we could really quickly see how her family treats her in a very like China doll kind of a way. To establish that quickly in a way that the comic book maybe could take more time, right?
Yeah.
So those kind of changes happen. It's not a huge deal. Like she's a reviver. It's a non-thing. It's part of her past, right?
Right. But the thing is, the comic obviously has like it's ended, So yeah. I had kind of wondered, like, is season 1 going to be like the whole story?
No,
or
from what I understand, it's not.
For multiple seasons, yeah, that's what I want to talk about.
It ran for a few years, and like
but in comic world, that's
you could go for 5 years and only be 50 issues, right? Like
right.
Yeah. It was not a huge. It's Image Comics. It's not a huge, long series. But like you probably shouldn't read it before you watch this. You could read it in the off season because it's going to be. Let's face it, it's going to be like a year or two before the next season comes, right? At any rate, at any rate, on this show, we were talking about Aaron or M or like this storyline is. I just like the flip where Melanie Scrofano's in the bed, and I'm sorry, Dana's in the bed, and M is out there doing Dana-like stuff, right? Like when the season opens and Dana is like, she's been on drugs, she's been in recovery, whatever. She's only a kid in college. She's got all this, and she's a little bit more needy. And now she's like taking matters into her own hands and doing what she needs to do to save her sister. In this episode,
yeah, she's stronger than she realized. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I don't know what else happened in this episode. Was that about it?
I think that was the main. I'm
That
trying to
was
see.
the important stuff.
Yeah, there was the thing with McRae, but we already talked about that. The thing with the burning, and let's see.
Some way, this show is called Revival. It runs on Sci-Fi Channel. So I'm sorry, I just was answering Someway's question. It's called Revival, Sci-Fi Channel. Watch it, check it.
Yes. I assumed he meant which one are you discussing now? I guess I should have clarified that in case we didn't. But we did miss this whole thing where they're like threatening the group.
Oh, this was like a therapy session of revivers or something, right?
Yeah.
Therapy and Blaine Wilson.
I feel like right now, like they didn't actually say what happened to that guy if they did anything, but I feel like right now they're just trying to scare them. I don't know if that will continue, but yeah, I think right now they just sort of tried to scare them.
I think scare them, but I think also goad them into attacking and be like, oh, a reviver attacked me, or a reviver tried to choke me. Oh, you should like track them and lock them up, right?
Yeah, that I agree. But like I don't know, like if they're going to later get violent. I kind of wonder. But at this point, I don't think they've done anything other than like him burning Arlene. I don't think they've done anything. But yeah. Oh, and the other thing is, it does seem because that guy, the guy on the left there, that he throws that kid. He's not a kid. I'm calling him a kid. He's a kid to me now. God, I'm old. That he throws that guy like when he pushes him away or whatever. He pushes him really hard. I do assume after watching this and with what happened with Arlene, I do think that they have extra strength. Whether they have to be emotional to have the strength, I don't know. But
M too. M's stronger.
They're all strong. They all have super strength.
Yeah. Think about it. M put up a hell of a fight in the bar, and when she stabbed the tire, like it was nothing.
Yeah, they all come back with strength. They all have strength. That's a thing.
But I guess strength and her getting hurt are two separate issues. So, yeah. All right. I think that's it. Other than the stuff with Ibrahim having a hard time lying, which I think was funny. I enjoyed that.
He knows it though. He's like, I'm really bad. He goes, if they press.
Yeah, he's like, I might tell them after. It's like I can't keep going. Yeah, that was funny. So yeah, I think we went through the whole episode. I think we got it.
All right.
So yeah, episode 6, I think, is a big episode.
Well, you've seen it?
Yes, and as I said, it gets.
I want to hear it. No.
That's a tease. That is not a spoiler. That's all I've said yet. That it does get dark, but yeah, I'm excited to watch more, talk about it, that kind of thing. But yeah, make sure you come next. Make sure you join us Friday to hear us, break down the episode. But
Jamie, have you seen the entire series?
No, I have not.
Only the next episode.
No, I have not. Just the next episode for right now. But I have not seen the rest of them yet.
And there's 8.
There's 10, I believe, total.
10, yay.
There's 10, yeah.
At least according to Internet Movie Database. Not that it's always accurate, but yeah, it looks like there's going to be 10. But yes, so far I've seen the next one. But anyway, make sure you guys come back Monday at 7 to hear what Luke has to say. And if you missed our Friday show, you might want to restream part of it to see what he said then and see our conversation, because it was a lot of fun. Yes, Kelly, at 1 a.m. Because I ain't getting sleep. We will be covering Nautilus tonight. We're gonna try to catch up really quick. So we're doing 2 of them tonight. But
all right, Sandman.
Murderbot slot.
The Sandman.
We're on 3 and 4, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. want to make sure I get out the right ones. That's why I'm asking. Oh, tell me I didn't. Shit, I think I moved the folders. I moved off the folders. I forgot we were still doing Sandman. Hold on. I got him. It's just
right.
Videos. Sandman. Okay.
All right. Get the Sandman up.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Just go ahead and talk when I'm opening it.
AJ, how do you like these 2 episodes?
I love the conclusion of the little part of the party. I love the part with Azazel. I was very excited for. I knew it was coming. I don't know. I just got like. I think partly I couldn't wait to see how they did it in live action, because even the way they do it in the comic is really cool. Like each frame, like the way they do it in the comic is like each frame is him opening up further and further and further for like 3 pages.
Yeah.
So I thought that was I like the way they did that, and the road and I love the road trip. I love Delirium.
Really?
Yeah. Formerly Delight.
Formerly Delight.
Yeah.
I mean,
too. I'm trying to remember which one's 3 and 4 though. That's why I'm looking at the pictures.
I don't love the TV Delirium as much as the comic. I think the comic Delirium is better than the TV. But I like both these episodes. I liked that. So sometimes I feel like the pacing on this show is like up and down. And we've talked about this because they're trying to move through a lot of content and give comic readers like certain beats that we have to see. But that sometimes can be a problem for like television storytelling. And I thought these 2 worked pretty well. In terms of like what we covered, we had a flashback, we had like resolution of a storyline, a new complete chapter, I think, in episode 4. Yeah, I thought these 2 worked really well. These were 2 pretty good episodes, I thought. Jamie?
Yeah, I like them a lot too. I'm trying to, in my mind, figure out which. There, I got a picture of Julia.
There you go.
So it's the thing with the end of the party, and what was episode 4? That's what I was trying to scan through. Episode 4 is
episode 4 was when they go into the living world to try to find Destruction's friends, so they can track down Destruction, and they end up.
And it ends with Wanda's death, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I like these 2. I like that he. Okay, wait. This is before they fought. This is what leads up to that. Yeah, I like the stuff with him and Delirium. I like they went out. I also like the way that they resolved how he gave hell to the angels, and like didn't give it to anybody that that was trying to get it. He just gave it to them and fixed the problem. And I love also Lucifer's response to that. Like, why didn't I think of that? I love that. But this is the episode at the end of the party, like whenever he saves what's her name, Nada. This is the one where I remember having a big discussion of like how he still clearly has not learned what he did wrong. He says he should apologize, but I don't think he understands why. I don't think he understands the gravity of what he did. I don't think he deserves to be forgiven, at least at this point. And I think he has a lot of growing to do. Yeah, I was calling him an asshole a lot through that episode.
Which is ironic considering how old he is.
Yes, I know. But that's why, I mean, even Death is like finally trying to tell him, you're wrong. I understand why Desire said this. Like, you did all this. You sentenced her to hell because she did not want to stay with you. And he still doesn't seem to get what he did wrong. And I don't think he ever, as I said before, I think he thought he loved her, but I don't think he ever loved her. And I don't think he understood her. Like you said before, Karen, can they even love? I don't know. But yeah. I think that's why I think this is the first episode.
And Nada says it in this episode. She says, like, I'm not sure your kind even is capable of love. And Dream is offended by that. I mean, there's a part of this, I don't know, there's a part of me that was like, okay, so when when Dream feels that Nada has betrayed him and he sends her to hell, it's a very it's horrible, and it's an he's like 20,000 years old, but that's an act of an immature, like he's emotionally immature, right? And so 10,000 years go by, and now he thinks he's mature and he's regretful and whatever. And he says to her, "Perhaps I should apologize." And she's like, "What?" And it's clear that he has not grown really at all in the 10,000 years that she's been in hell, right?
Yeah, he thinks he should apologize. He clearly doesn't know what he did wrong.
Perhaps.
Well, it's like, yeah, I mean, she wants to leave. She wants to leave, go to the living world, and he's like, "But I love you. Why do you want? Where are you going? Like, why are you leaving?
I'm so great. I'm a great prize. You should stay with me. Don't you love me?" Right? Like,
yeah.
Also, I think it's difficult for him to understand. Like, he condemned her to hell, but he's like what are they called? What are they called? The
endless.
The endless. He's an endless. I mean, it's not possible for him to understand. Like 10,000 years is nothing for him. Like to go to hell for 10,000 years.
I mean,
is insane for Nada, but it's 10,000. He was 100 years in that little.
Yeah.
He didn't speak for 100 years because he was pissed off, right? In that little glass sphere in season 1.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, think about how pissed off he was that he was captured. Could you imagine being forced to, he should understand to a certain degree.
Yeah, and Nana's like, look, I froze at night. I sweated during the day. I was cut. Like, she goes on the litany of pain that she experienced. And, like, I think there's a glimmer in Dream of being like, oh, I guess that sucked more than I thought. But he still doesn't really get it, right? And she's like, how could you do that? Like, you say you loved me? Like, you didn't love me. Like, you did that.
Like, I think he maybe feels bad it happened, but I think he doesn't understand why what he did was so wrong. Like, not just only that she suffered, like he caused the suffering, and it was wrong on so many levels.
Like, it was hell. It was hell. Like, yes, no, you don't love me.
Literally
right?
hell.
And he's like, I love you. She's like, no, I don't. Like, Dream is attracted to her. She's cool. She's compelling. He clearly doesn't really. Well, he's talking to her because she rejected him. He's a little whiny little emo bitch, right?
Yep.
And he,
right? Yeah, that's it in a nutshell, right there. That is Dream in a nutshell.
Yeah,
he is. He's a little whiny whiner. He's Kylo Ren.
Yeah, he is.
I feel
like the end of the second episode, I feel like is the start of. Now, you guys have read the comics, so me saying this isn't really, going to be a surprise. But I feel like the end of the or the fourth episode, sorry, the second one for this group, is the start of him maybe like thinking a bit more after Wanda dies, and he feels responsible for what happened to them. And I think, I don't know. I think this is the beginning of him maybe seeing a glimmer of he needs to think before he acts, and that maybe he doesn't know everything. But it still takes a while to go through that journey.
I don't know what will give you that glimmer, considering the way he treats Delirium.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think this is the start of it. Like when Delirium and Desire are basically like, fuck you, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I think like after that is when he starts. It takes him a while. Like I said, it's not instant, but I feel like that's the some of this is towards that turning point. Yeah, it just takes a bit.
Yeah, the way he treats Delirium, you mean like the way he uses her, like he takes advantage of her, like he lies to her. He's like, yeah, I'll help you find our brother, but he really wants to find Nada, which everyone knows except Delirium because she's been kind of out of the loop, right?
Yeah.
And she's delirious, and she believes the best in him because she's Delirium.
Yeah. I'm trying to see. I can't tell from the pictures because they're so tiny. I love the conversations, though, that, let me see, I'll find it eventually, that Lucienne has with him. I don't know, wherever the picture is. It might be from the next episode. But where she's like telling him, like, you're not going for that. She's not going to think it's fate if she sees you. Like, she's
going to think you're stalking her.
Trying to say, you're still not getting it. You're not getting what I'm trying to tell you. You dumbass. That's what I took this scene as.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was fun.
absolutely.
Yeah. And then we also have the fairy stuff, which I think was
Yeah.
interesting.
How'd you guys like that first episode where we have a production of A Midsummer Night's Dream? I don't know if you guys have seen it. I've seen it multiple times on stage. If you guys ever read it in school.
I read it and I've seen the movie.
I remember reading it in school. Don't know whether I ever saw the movie. I didn't play, but I might have seen the movie years and years ago, but I don't remember much of it. I know Scarlett was sort of telling me about it because I didn't remember much of anything.
Yeah, but it is a one of Shakespeare's plays that is about like Oberon and Titania and Puck, and you know, this idea that I mean, it's kind of a really cool idea that Dream has asked Shakespeare to write this play about these people so that he can mend the rift between their two realms and like bring the fairies back into his friendship or whatever, right? Like I thought it was, I mean,
it makes me kind of think of Murderbot though, because he's like, your voice was entertaining, and it is like, I want to be friends with you again so I can see my show. That's what it makes me think of. It's like, I want my entertainment.
I guess, but I mean, I think
that wasn't the whole thing.
I think this scene maybe relies on you to remember the play a little bit, and what it says about Oberon and Titania, and they are charmed by Dream, and he heals the rift, and yet like how many years later, now they send Lady Nula to stay. That was horrible, right? That Lady Nula, who there's a point like. For those of you who haven't read the comic, Jamie, who did you think that Dream was going to leave the realm to? Who he's going to give hell to? Did you?
I honestly didn't know. I mean, I didn't know what he should do. Like, I felt like I wanted him to help them, but I didn't know if they were necessarily the right people to.
Who do you mean them? Like, would he give it to Lady Nula?
I mean, yeah, like I don't think he'd give it to them. I can't remember for sure if I had thought of the angels on my own. I feel like at that point I thought that he was going to give it to that one guy that's the only one that sounded sane. That he talked to.
The sort of Japanese guy?
Yeah, the God of Storms or whatever. Yeah. I didn't know what he should do, and that's why I love that he did neither. Like, he just did something completely different. But yeah, what happened to her was awful, and he's like, it's because of her that, you know, now you don't have this tithe, and then her brother backtracks, like, well, maybe she can come back, and she's thankfully like, no, like, you just abandoned me, fuck you, I'm not coming back with you. Sorry, I'm in a swearing mood.
Her brother was like the biggest jerk ever for 2 episodes, but he actually seemed kind of sad when she was like.
He did at first, but he should have fought for her.
I don't know. I felt like he's like, oh, they didn't tell you? Oh.
He's like, you can come visit, and she's like, I won't come visit. He's like, I'll come visit you. And I was waiting for her to be like, hell no.
The way she stood up for herself. One question though to you guys, and I don't know if this is different in the comic. I can't remember if Scarlett told me or not. But the one thing that made didn't make tons of sense to me is that she's supposed to be under this glamour, and she takes off the glamour, and the only thing that's different is she has an accent and her hair is down.
She's still beautiful, right? Yeah. She's not like a werewolf.
Because that was confusing.
I mean, she loses a little bit of her like hair
sparkle.
And makeup and sparkle, but she's still equally beautiful, and she just has an accent. And she's like, oh yeah, Titania always hated my accent. I'm like, wait, isn't she your mother? And you have an accent, she doesn't, but whatever. It's, you know.
She's supposed to be your daughter. I didn't know that. But yeah, I thought it was a little strange. Like, it would have to me made a little bit more sense if they uglied her up a bit. Because she was still just as pretty. So it was.
Well, you know what I love about that scene the most though? That it is a continuation of Dream not getting it. How did he present himself to Nada? Did he show his true self, or did he?
He never has. He always appears as like her dream man, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good point.
And so I get what you're saying, AJ. Like he asks Lady Nula to drop her glamour, but he
because
never
he doesn't
drops,
stand for that.
he never drops his glamour for Nada.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
She really doesn't know who she's in love with at all, or who she thought she was in love with, or who, like, does she really know him? Like, has he ever shown his true face? No, that's crazy, right? Like, so it's like those girls that get out of bed and put on makeup in the morning before their husband sees them. Like, your husband should never see you without eyeliner, right? Not the same thing.
Yeah.
But
Makeup is false advertising.
He's never shown his full face to her.
Yeah, usually shows that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm also not sure. Like, I thought at certain points, like she saw, like when she went to Dream World.
She has seen what
saw
Dream
him
actually
as
looks like,
himself
but
at
he always.
because she didn't realize at first it was him, so she's clearly seen
Right.
his true face.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah, no,
maybe
she has seen his true face, but he
sees it.
always starts with this.
Yeah. But yeah, I hadn't even thought about that parallel. You're very right with that.
Yeah. So at the end of this episode, I mean, I liked how it wound up also, and like the whole Loki thing, which isn't it so weird to see Loki being blonde because we're so used to Hiddleston with his dark hair.
Also,
Yeah, Jamie, what did you think of the whole Loki twist?
Well, Loki was now I'm going to forget his name now that I said that, from Doctor Who.
Yeah,
that part doesn't matter.
I don't know.
I know who.
Whatever. How'd you like the?
He was the one from the Interstellar.
Yeah, but that's not the point.
Anyway, Freddie Fox is his name. But anyway, I liked Loki. I would have maybe liked to see a little bit more from him.
Really?
But yeah, a little bit. I mean, not that we needed to. He isn't necessary to the story, but I liked him. But I liked that Dream is kind of like. I mean, I've seen this in other stories before, where like he's owing him a favor that he doesn't know what it is, and he could collect it anytime. I like that, because yeah, I'm assuming that will come back around at some point. I mean, maybe not because the TV series we're only getting 2 seasons. I don't know, but I'm assuming at least in the comics it comes back around, if that's in the comics, that he makes him do something, down the road.
Yeah, and so this show at least has presented Dream as a guy who can't be fooled. He's never been fooled yet. Like, could Loki, like, other portrayals of Loki, whether it's in Marvel or in other stories, like Loki's a trickster and he gets away with a lot of shit, but he couldn't fool Dream in this, and now he owes Dream a favor. But now Loki's let loose in the world, which is kind of like not a good idea. I don't think we're going to get much of it. Like there's like Sandman has so much story and not a lot of time. And I don't know that will we see him call a favor in? Maybe. Will we see what Loki does with his life? No.
Probably not. Yeah. Probably not.
So anyway, I guess we've kind of sliced and diced that. How did you, Jamie? I'm going to ask Jamie first, and then AJ, I guess, about the whole this whole thing where Dream agrees to go with Delirium to find destruction, and they are going to go find his friends and ask them, and they, how that whole kind of road trip goes.
Yeah. Again, he. 3 different people have to die. Oh no, wait. Yeah, 3 different people. More than 3 people, because that whole place they die in the bar.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people have to die before he realizes like this is a bad idea. And one of them's immortal, which confused me why she could die that easy. But beyond that, yeah, I think that he's so focused on getting what he wants, he doesn't give a shit about anybody else, especially his sister that he was tricking. And I get that she was hurt, and yeah, and I was at this point, I was like glad that Desire came and like yelled at him, like, what is wrong with you? Because she came to him and she trusted him and he screwed her over. So yeah.
AJ?
To be fair, though, after the lawyer died, he did say we need to stop this.
Yeah.
To be fair, he did not stop, but he continued.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. And destruction was clear, like, don't follow me. I mean, I think there's a question. It's implied. I'm not going to say what happens, but it's implied that is destruction killing these people. So, like, there's a point where Delirium says they were like I guess when the first guy dies, the lawyer, he was destructed. You know, he was destroyed. Like, is destruction killing these people so they can't find them? Like, why are these deaths happening? I guess it shows some growth in Dream that he says we have to stop. That Dream decides, like, we can't just let all these people die. Like, I think Wanda's death affects him even more than Ishtar, maybe, or I don't know.
Yeah,
well, the thing with Ishtar, I mean, when he's talking to Ishtar and she's like, "Why do you hate me?" and he's like, "I don't hate you," because you can clearly see he doesn't give two shits one way or the other about her,
or about anyone ever, about anyone.
That's my point, you know. And she's like, "Then why would you come here? Because I'm as good as dead now." She's like, "But if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna go out like a champ."
Yeah. And then it takes him actually kind of a long time to be like, "Run, we're gonna blow up," right? Like, hello.
Couldn't you see? Like watching. He's like watching the flames, and he's watching everything. He's like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah.
Yeah. Gets a lot of people killed, and then he's like, "We have to stop." And then, you know, Delirium is very angry. I don't know if you have a picture of that, JD, when she like cracks the glass to go back to her own realm.
That was so cool.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I tell you what, one thing about this show, if nothing else, the sets and all the special effects and everything look outstanding. Like watching her crack the glass, walking back into her realm, so cool the way they did that.
It won't go back to the one I need. I have to reload it again.
That's right. That's a very cool animation, Jamie. She's also angry at Desire. Like, Desire, she says my realm is close to both of you, right? Like, Desire shows up. Desire shows up and lectures Dream. It's an interesting turn of events because, like, Desire has previously been like, I'm committed to the destruction of Dream. I hate Dream. I want to kill Dream or whatever, right? And now Desire's a little bit more like, your behavior is very bad and you're very selfish and like, you need to stop this. Like Dream has
Dreams. That's the wrong show.
Yeah, I know. It's not. I'm like clicking on it. It's not changing it. No matter how many times I open the other picture, it doesn't want to go back to it. It's being dumb.
Sorry, you were saying, Karen?
As I said, that Desire is chiding Dream about like,
oh yeah,
gone down this road and our brother wanted to say, but it's a little bit different than Desire's previous like vow to destroy Dream, right?
Yeah.
Desire's changed their tune a little bit.
One thing that I thought was interesting about that scene was in the comic, that scene doesn't happen. Desire doesn't show up. He actually has a conversation with I'm drawing a blank. Crap. Yeah. There's another god that he talks to.
Oh, I'm trying to remember that, and I can't remember that.
Who the hell was it? I can't remember who the hell it was, but
I know
because they're pissed off. They show up because they're pissed off about Ishtar.
Oh, because Ishtar is killed, and they're like, Ishtar's a god. It's interesting that a god could be killed in an explosion, but presumably it is not an explosion. It's a supernatural occurrence, right? Like that explosion is not like we see the gas leak and the fire, but that was set in motion by a supernatural being, of course, right?
Right.
And so it's not just a gas explosion; it's a cover for a murder of a goddess, I guess, right?
Yeah.
It's too bad that the show doesn't like this show and this piece of property and this. There's so much that you could look into. Like, how did Ishtar, who previously had a different, I forgot her previous name. Ishtar has fallen on hard times and is owning this club, right? And it's like, oh, the last time I saw you, Dream, 1,000 years ago, I had 50 temples with 50 priestesses, and like the whole story of Ishtar could be fantastic to watch, right? Like, I'd love to see how this person came to be here, but that we're not getting that. We have one season.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I wish. I mean, I don't know. They've said like they're giving us Dream's complete story. I don't know that sounds correct.
And that's all we're, yeah. They're literally cutting out anything that is not directly related to Dream.
Yeah.
right, because there's a lot of non-dream and not really taking us to Dreams, like the full story. Like, there's not going to be a lot of side action.
Yeah.
So we're left at the end where Dream. So now Desire and Delirium are both not talking to Dream. Destruction is gone. That leaves Death and Destiny. And who's the other one? Dream,
Despair.
Despair.
Despair. Yeah, Despair.
Destruction. Yeah.
So like there are 7 of them.
Yeah.
Dream has 6 siblings. 2 right now are not speaking, and 1 is missing. So there are 3, and there are very, how many allies does Dream have? Of course, Dream is sort of a go it alone kind of guy.
Well, he's emo.
He's emo.
Yeah.
He's emo endless. Yeah, he's.
That's the other thing I was disappointed with in the comic. Matthew actually is with them after the lawyer dies.
Oh yeah.
Matthew goes to Ishtar with him.
Yeah, but Matthew.
I like Matthew's comedic relief.
Yes, I do too.
Especially since
season.
Yeah, I don't love Matthew so much in this, but because Matthew's comedic relief, and when you cast Patton Oswalt, like you're not that Patton Oswalt is not capable of like other kinds of work. I don't mean to criticize his acting, but you've chosen a well-known comedic actor with a well-known, recognizable voice to play this role, and I don't know that Matthew could be anything else but comedic in this.
He doesn't need
to be fair, he is a talking raven. I mean,
he's a talking raven. Yeah.
It's not going to be super serious.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, you guys?
I think that's it for Sandman.
All right.
I can't wait to watch the next 2 episodes. I am so excited.
I'm psyched too. I'm really excited. Yeah.
It's probably my favorite. One of my favorite parts of the whole comic.
Oh, what's coming? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys? You're going to do Superman now, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I am still having the hardest time hearing you guys, and I'm going to try to fix my computer. So I'm going to put it back on the other layout, and I'm going to sign out. But
all right. Good luck, Jim.
Yeah, but our show is until 1. You guys won't be that.
Do you have any announcements or anything that you want to give?
Yeah, my main announcement is just please join me in Scarlet at 1, assuming that my internet is working. I don't know why it's doing what it is because I'm like having such a hard time hearing.
And what is happening at 1? What show are you
doing? We have Nautilus. We're doing the first 2 episodes of Nautilus. We'll be breaking down. So please join us at 1, and then. What's today? I have to think. Tuesday. Our next show after that is Librarians, which is Thursday at 11. So if for some reason we aren't there, it would be because my internet doesn't come back, but it should be fine. I'm going to try to restart and see what I can do. But other than that, like I said, the revival interview next Monday, and that's about it. And make sure if you haven't, you join Discord. I will.
What channel is Nautilus even on?
It is AMC. Yeah,
it's AMC Plus. It's not on AMC.
It's listed as AMC, but I think it's AMC Plus. The odd thing is,
let me tell you,
AMC
does crap for marketing their stuff.
Though recorded like a behind the scenes thing during Interview with a Vampire, so go figure. I don't know.
I didn't even know about Nautilus until you said something.
Yeah, well, I seen the behind the scenes thing. That's how I knew.
But my point is, like, it's not out there for the rest of the world. It's like it's like hidden.
Yeah,
like nobody's gonna watch it.
Prevalent.
No, it's not on AMC. It's only on AMC Plus.
Yeah.
You can't watch it on your regular AMC.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like there's not even like you'd think that they would market it to say, hey, you should get AMC Plus to watch this great show Nautilus.
Yeah. It did.
I didn't know about it until
this is like the first time it's been in the US, but it did air elsewhere. So far, it's pretty good. Assuming that I can get back on to talk about it, it's good.
All right, you guys have a good show, AJ.
Good luck, good luck, Jamie.
Thank you. I'm gonna hopefully.
And I will see you Monday.
We'll do it. Yes, I will see you Monday, and I need
Twice.
to. You might want to switch over to like this because otherwise, you're gonna when I disconnect, you're gonna lose the.
All right, yeah,
we'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, I will talk to you guys. Thanks, everybody, for coming.
Nice,
nice
Jamie.
Bye, Jamie. I'll be back in a bit. Bye.
All right, so everyone, if you want to watch Superman and you haven't seen it, get out of here now because AJ and I are going to talk about Superman. We both saw it this weekend. AJ, have you read a lot of DC Superman comics? Have you watched a lot of them?
I've always been more Marvel, but back in my youth, it's funny. The DC comics that I did collect were Superman and Batman. and obviously Dream, Sandman.
Yeah, Sandman.
Because that was DC. Actually Batman and Superman were the only DC comics that I ever really
two main guys.
Yeah.
All right.
I've seen all the movies, including the bad one, Superman Returns.
Oh, that was terrible.
It was so bad. The only redeeming quality of that movie, and I know how this is going to sound, but the only redeeming quality of that movie was Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. I thought he was a great Lex Luthor.
Really good, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, did you watch Smallville?
I loved Smallville.
Yeah, I've never seen it. So I've seen a lot of Superman.
The only Superman I didn't watch was the most recent one that was on the CW.
Oh yeah. Did you watch Lois and Clark, the old one?
Oh, that was so great.
That was
Dean
great,
Cain and Terry Hatcher. I love that show.
Yeah. So I saw like the Richard Donner series of movies. I watched Lois and Clark. I did not watch Smallville. I've seen those bad Zack Snyder movies. I'm old enough that I have caught some of the very, very, very old black and white Superman shows.
I was just going to say, I've even seen some of the George Reeves Superman shows.
Yep. Like we would come home from school in like the 6th grade and beyond, like it'd be on TV, and I've seen a bunch of that. So we've seen a bunch of Supermans. So this movie has been pitched as James Gunn coming over from Marvel to DC, right? It is a return to like more of the gee whiz kind of Superman, right? Like the guy who's like truth, justice, and the American way. He's a really good guy. He believes in humanity. He believes in stuff. He's not that dark Zack Snyder Superman, right? I liked that part of it. I bought that part of it, that really earnest and genuine Superman. I kind of bought that part. I do like, is his name David Corenswet? I like him in the role. I like the guy they cast. He looks, he's 6'4". He dark hair. He looks the part. He's got those traditional good looks of Superman. Good chemistry. I liked all that. We're going to talk about the story, and not all of the story worked for me. How did you like it?
I liked everything. I mean, it was. I liked the fact that it had the Superman story, but then it also had other elements to it with the Justice Gang.
Oh my god! Are they going to get their movie? Because they're ridiculous.
I don't know if they're gonna get their own movie, but I'm sure they're definitely gonna be seen again in however Gunn has this all mapped out. It's actually interesting because that little all the exposition that we get in the beginning there with 3 decades ago this and 3 years ago and everything that he did with that
3 hours, 3 minutes.
and then we get to the whole of mazes and monsters of what monsters and heroes or heroes and monsters, however you put it. That's actually what he's calling that. Gunn is calling the first chapter of this new slew of DC movies.
Calling it Monsters and Heroes?
Yeah. Like the whole, kind of like this reintroduction of the DC universe. I thought it was, I was afraid it was going to be a long, I was afraid it was going to be over 2 hours. It was just 2 hours.
Yep.
So there wasn't a lot of filler in there. I enjoyed Mr. Terrific a lot.
I
was so happy to see Nathan Fillion in a James Gunn movie for more than 5 minutes because they're buddies in real life. That's why Nathan Fillion shows up in everything, but he never has a significant role until now. So I was very happy for that. I thought Fillion was a great Guy Gardner. I feel like he could have been more of a jerk because Guy Gardner is a huge jerk.
So I'm not familiar with the Green Lantern. So in this movie, Nathan Fillion plays the Green Lantern or a Green Lantern. There are multiple.
A Green Lantern.
Lantern is a lot of people, right? And he I don't really get that, but he's a Green Lantern, and he's the doofy, arrogant, bad haircut Green Lantern. I assume not everyone behaves like him. He's great. He steals every scene that he's in, right? He's Nathan Fillion, of course. I thought that he stole the movie a little bit, and I thought that Mr. Terrific stole the movie a little bit. And there were these two pretty charismatic characters with a lot of screen time that were maybe stealing it from Superman a little bit. Mr. Terrific has a pretty big role. Is Mr. Terrific also a guy in the comics? I was not familiar with him.
Yep.
He has a pretty prominent role. He's pretty critical to the dramatic resolution of the film, right? And he actually might have more screen time with Lois Lane than Superman does.
It's possible. They spent most of their screen time fighting.
Yeah, that surprised me a little bit.
Which I love that scene. I thought that scene was great. When she's when she was interviewing him.
Oh yeah, that was great. I mean, that has always been problematic. The idea that Superman is a journalist, Clark Kent's a journalist, and he always gets the interview with Superman. It's kind of like how Peter Parker always gets the photograph of Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
And Clark Kent and Superman are all about integrity and ethics, and yet as a journalist, he's a complete slacker. He's always interviewing himself, writing stories about himself, and Lois is gonna ask him the hard questions. And then he's all like, "Wait, what? Why you're there?" Then he doesn't want to answer the questions, right? And be interviewed. I like that. This movie's getting great reviews. A lot of people really love it. I think I am in the minority that. How did you like Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor? How did you?
I thought he was really good as Luthor. I thought I really liked the way they did Luthor. I didn't know how I was going to feel about Nicholas Hoult playing him, but I thought he did a great job. I liked that they really emphasize. I love the fact that Luthor flat out said, "Of course I'm jealous." He's like this. He's very obvious about it.
I thought that came too late in the movie. I thought Luthor was very one-dimensional and without a lot of motivation or explanation until it became very late in the movie. He was mostly like an angry bro through most of the movie. And it was very late in the film where they really describe his insecurity as a he's like a genius billionaire who's like, why don't they love me? Why do they love Superman more than me? Wah, right? He's a little bit of an incel almost. And I thought it came late in the film when they when they really gave his motivation for. I thought he was pretty one-dimensional for most of the film, and I always hate an overpowered villain, and I felt like Lex Luthor always had another thing in his pocket to go. He has these like very high-powered like minions, soldiers that he deploys against Superman, and he was very high-powered. I also, AJ, it really didn't work for me, this whole idea that Lex Luthor has a playbook, and he tells his battle bots, his whoever they are, A1, C32. Like, to me, that really wore thin pretty early. The idea that he's got a playbook and they just go with it.
Well, I think the big disconnect there is because we're being dropped into the middle of a story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not an origin story, which thank God, because we don't need another one.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, Lois and Superman are together for 3 months. Superman's already been defeated. We're well into his story, yeah.
Yeah, this is, we're well into the story, so I guess you kind of lose some of that not seeing Luthor up to this point. I mean, I didn't mind it because I know the history of Lex Luthor. I know, it doesn't surprise me at all that he put together something like that. They kind of say that one of his people and his tech people make a throwaway comment about what you were just saying. About how he's been studying Superman for years, which is why this is the culmination of him studying Superman for these years. Maybe it should have been a little more than just a quick throwaway line. Maybe they should have emphasized that a little more.
Yeah.
For people like yourself who really didn't get into it.
Yeah, because I know that Lex is like Superman's like traditional enemy and his lifelong enemy, and I get it, but they don't set it up that like this new guy, like it's a new Superman, a new Lex Luthor, and they don't really like ever show me why he hates Superman. And they have this whole like side plot about how he wants to take over a country and blah blah blah, and the whole political thing, and I have felt like some of the previous DC and especially Marvel villains, while they can be thin, I get them a little better than I got that.
Well, the whole Bavarian side plot was to distract everybody else so he could kill Superman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Superman thought that was, that was the Superman thought that was the distraction when the distraction was actually
to distract him,
to get, to kill him.
Superman thought that
it was a distraction, just not for him. It was a distraction for the rest of the world.
Superman thought that was his end game, and Lex's end game was really to like draw Superman into this like terrible trap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think it's a great reboot of the franchise. I thought it was just a bit. There was a lot going on there, and like there were so many. Like Lex Luthor had so many tools, right? He has like multiple minions or people that he deploys. I don't want to really give away the secret of that, right? Like there's a big spoiler that I want to talk about. What did you think about the whole thing about the black hole and the proton stream and all that? That might be where they lost me mostly with Lex. I kind of liked the part where Lex has this terrible prison where he imprisons everyone that he is in his way, including his ex-girlfriends. It shows how horrible he is, right? It shows how horrible he is, but this proton stream and the river and the black hole and all that maybe was a little much for me.
Well, it's actually scientific because he creates a pocket universe, and like Mr. Terrific explains, you shouldn't be messing. Every time you open and close a pocket universe, you take the risk of creating a black hole and just having the whole planet sucked in, which is Lex gets to that point where he intentionally opens it up because he's pissed off and he's Lex Luthor.
And he like rips Metropolis in half, but I mean, maybe the part where they're like, where Superman is holding the baby and he's in the proton stream and he's like, look, my hand is going away, just like Superman's hand. It was very, I don't know. To me, it was a lot. To me, it just went pretty far into the limit of science. Not that I care about, like, look, I'm watching a show about Superman. It just went a little, and like the CGI, like I thought there was a lot of CGI going on. It wasn't all great. It was mostly good. And those scenes, I was like, it reminded me of Gollum holding the ring. And Gollum's like, lava, right?
Honestly, I felt that scene went a little too long, actually.
Yeah, right?
I felt like it could have wrapped up quicker. Like, I felt like he was in the river too long.
Yeah, and he has been fighting this other person previously for a long time also, right?
Yeah.
And then there's this whole, like, we're in the Proton River, and there's all these, like, it was a little,
yeah, I will say one thing. I was really nervous about Crypto being in this movie, though.
Oh my God, Crypto is really from the comic books? I love Crypto.
Yeah. I was nervous about it because when I first saw the trailer, I was like, really? They're putting Crypto in the movie? I'm like, ugh. But they handled it pretty good. He was around enough to be involved, but also away enough to not be too much. So I thought they handled Crypto well. Because Crypto just being around all the time, it would have been problematic.
So
and the funny thing is, like, they don't explain at all where Crypto comes from until the end of the movie. Turns out Crypto is Supergirl's dog.
But they still don't say where he came from. Did he come from Krypton? How can he fly? Why does he, like, what?
Well, no, they don't explain that, but the fact that it's Supergirl's dog, I thought was pretty.
And Supergirl is a party girl. She's not at all like the Supergirl show that we saw a few years ago on the CW, right? Like, this Supergirl shows up and I think she's like hungover, right?
Like, she seemed kind of like that.
Yeah.
You know what? I tell you what, though, I had a problem. Like, when I first heard that Millie Alcock was cast as Supergirl, I was like, oh, cool. I might have a problem with it now because she still looks 12. I saw her and I was like, she hasn't aged in 5 years. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah. So I read an interview while James Gunn was writing the script. He adopted a dog, and it was like a puppy who was kind of bad and whatever. And I guess he hadn't been convinced that he should put Crypto into the script, but he decided. So Crypto is really based on, so Gunn's dog is white with floppy ears and all this, and he kind of based Crypto on his own dog. Now Crypto, every moment of Crypto is CGI, and I did feel a little bit like, could they ever have a real dog in this show? But they kind of based it on his dog, and it was a big, like, look, doing the dog in CGI was really hard. The interview goes on and on about that. He did occasionally have his own dog come to the set, his own dog, and they would try to, like, map the dog to do, like, so he was really inspired by his own dog, partly. I did not know that Superman ever had a flying dog. Why can that dog fly, AJ? Is the dog from Krypton? Do they have dogs on Krypton? What the hell? How can a dog fly? How can a dog fly? What?
That's why they call him Crypto. Because he's a Kryptonian dog.
Yes.
I don't know what the origin and story they're going to give, because there's been a couple. That's the problem with the DC universe. They've rewritten themselves so many times and changed origins and retconned stuff so many times. I'm not sure what the answer is going to be.
And this movie is a reboot of the DC universe, right? Like, we got James Gunn taking over. It's a reboot. Yep. It is introducing maybe some other characters and other things. I sat through the entire thing and watched both end credit sequences. Both were kind of not that interesting or good.
Well, James Gunn has said that he has never been a fan of the Marvel's teaser end credits because it paints you into a corner.
Ooh, because then, like, you're set up for the new character to be introduced or whatever.
Like, right? He actually said that he was sorry that he teased Adam Warlock after the first Guardians of the Galaxy, because that meant he had to have them eventually.
And these were two very limited. I mean, there's the one where Supergirl shows up and she's like, "You got my dog," and she appears.
Well, that was the end of the movie. The first end credit was just him and Crypto sitting there staring at the Earth.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The second end credit was It was Clark being a jerk about the wall not being perfectly put back together.
Oh yeah, because when when the world cracked and then it came back together, Mr. Terrific is like, "Are you serious?" Like,
and Clark's like, he's like, "I'm such a jerk sometimes." Like, they were cute, but had I known they were like that, I could have waited to the end credits when I got home.
Yeah, I could have gone home
when it came out on streaming.
Yeah.
But no, overall, I mean, like I said, it wasn't too long. It was entertaining. I really like the fact that the trailers gave away nothing of the plot. Like, I really had no idea what the movie was going to be about.
Yeah.
From the trailers. So, what'd you think? It's funny. I had a little bit of surprise because I did not realize that Isabella Merced was Hawkgirl. And then, she took off the mask, and I was like, "Oh, Dina."
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. She's masked for almost the entire movie. She is among the Justice Gang. She's like the straight man in the Justice Gang, right? Because it's like, it's Mr. Terrific and the Green Lantern and her. And then in the end, they get this new guy.
Yeah, it's actually funny. I actually thought he was going to be the villain in the movie because Metamorpho in the comic starts out as a villain before he.
No, yeah, and he was like he was definitely a subdued guy, and then he becomes an ally of Superman sort of late in the game, right? And then he joins the Justice Gang. Is the Justice Gang? We know the Justice League. Is the Justice Gang a thing in the comics?
No, this is just a funny thing that they're not calling themselves. Yeah. I don't think they're going to. I think the point is because they technically work for Max Lord. They kind of briefly talk about that in the beginning when they first talk about them.
Yeah, they're corporate sponsor.
And Max Lord is a villain. Nobody knows that yet. He's kind of another like Lex Luthor. He's like this big money guy, and nobody realizes he actually has nefarious plans. And so I think wherever the stories eventually go, they'll break away from Max Lord, and then they'll become the Justice League, because that's the Justice League building from
yes.
So
and we see the guy up on the ladder, like putting the words up. I think we should give credit for Nathan Fillion wearing probably the worst wig in the history of cinema in this film, right? He really, Nathan Fillion does a really great sort of self-deprecating role, and the wig is incredible. It's incredible. It's maybe the best wig I've ever seen. But yeah, I liked it. I didn't to me, I just didn't. If Rotten Tomatoes has a 90, I would give it like an 80, maybe, right? I just, and maybe Lex Luthor is maybe my biggest problem with it. Just his sort of like lack of motivation and overpowered nonsense. But I love this new guy as Superman. He's great. He's a great Superman, right? David Cornsweet. Yeah. I thought he was great. Yeah.
You know what else? You know what I loved? I loved that he had that little curl in his hair.
That little curl.
Like,
yeah.
The way that Christopher Reeves always had.
Christopher Reeve had, yeah. And it was kind of a return to that guy that really, I actually did really love that they incorporated the original John Williams theme. Like, not everyone loved that, but I loved hearing the John, not exactly the same, but like an adaptation of that John Williams music.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, for those of us who love those films, it's a real like cue to us. I'm watching it. Yeah, liked it. Recommend it. Thumbs up. Go watch it. And
one of the things, I love there's a bunch of little cameos too. Gunn always likes to work with his people again.
His brother.
His brother, Bradley Cooper. Alan Tudyk does the voice of Gary, the robot.
Robot number 4.
Yeah, number 4. Number 1 was Michael Rooker. Number 12. The female robot was Palm
Clementif.
Yeah, thank you. I always get her name.
Yep. All the Guardians
And,
did voices. All the Guardians did voices.
And one of the guards was Michael Rosenblum, who was Lex Luthor in Smallville.
Oh, nice. Didn't know that. Yeah, that was cool. He does love that. And James Gunn's brother is it Scott Gunn? He has a like a bit of a cameo also, right?
Yeah, he's playing Max Lord.
Yeah, Max Lord, yeah.
And people that was a whole the internet was not happy about that.
No? About
nepotism. Because look at James Gunn showing nepotism. Listen, his brother is a well-established actor to begin with. You know,
he is.
And if you can't put your brother in a movie, who can you put? I mean, you want to talk about nepotism, and I don't think it's nepotism at all. But Kevin Smith just puts his friends in his movies, so.
Yeah, I mean, and in this movie, Scott Gunn has does he have 5 words? Does he have 8 words? That's about it.
That's about it. He's a video clip of the news when asked the question. I mean, I think he says no comment and gets in a car.
Yeah,
I mean, he's going to have a bigger role down the line.
Yes, but he's barely in it. And he's been in all his roles. And yes, you're right. He's an established actor in his own right. I would say that Scott Gunn was well known to me. Sean Gunn. I'm sorry. Sean Gunn. I knew him from Gilmore Girls before I ever knew of James Gunn. I would say that Sean Gunn was really the brother that got out ahead of it. And was more prominent before James Gunn ever was somebody I heard of. So internet, shut up about that.
Yeah.
So
all right.
I do.
And I love the John Cena cameo too with Peacemaker.
Yeah. That's great. Also,
Which I can't wait. That's actually the next show that comes out in August.
Punisher. He's
Peacemaker. Season 2 of Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So
that'll be great.
All righty.
We've reached the end of our show. It was very long tonight.
Yeah, well, we had a lot to talk about, but it'll be a little shorter next week because we won't have Ironheart, we won't have Murderbot. We'll just have Revival, Resident Alien, and Sandman.
All right. Thanks, everyone. If you're still with us, thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you, everybody. And come back in about 20 minutes to listen to Jamie and Scarlett talk about Nautilus. Yeah. And then Monday, Lori, Jamie, and I are going to talk to the showrunner of Revival.
Showrunner of Revival. That's going to be great. Yeah.
At 7 o'clock. Yeah. And then at 10 o'clock, Jamie, Karen, and I will be back.
Right here.
Talk about the Institute.
For the best. Yep. For the Institute. So, all right.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Night. Bye.